Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to the final news drop for Diablo 4. The big developer stream that allegedly, supposedly brings us every skill tree. We're gonna dive further into the new skill trees, talisman system, Horadric cube, new endgame systems, and more. So we're going to get to know everything. I mean, the big hope is that we have every skill tree at the end of this. So really that we know exactly like the in-depth that we have for Warlock currently, right? That we have that as well for the others. Because, oh boy, do I want to know. Oh boy, do I want to plan. I mean, we can plan around with Warlock already. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to look at the summon skills of the Warlock. Because as interesting as Hellfire and Abyss is, the Shadow, I will say that summon just does seem to be the most interesting thing we get out there, right? I mean, we get two summon skills early. We get the Command Fallen, which is the Lesser Demon, and we get Hylian Sting, which is also Demonology. Then we get the Bombardment. Got Wall of Agony and a Tortured Wretch. Summon a Tortured Demon on your enemies. The good thing is, to all these skills, we do have the accompanying video to kind of like show them off, right? So we get here the Warlock skill video from Macro, who pretty much has all the skills. So if I now want to know the Tortured Wretch, how that plays. Okay, you're going to summon this dude. Ah, it's that guy that's going to summon. I see. So you're going to put the Tortured Wretch out. Okay. So I wasn't sure if I'm going to like Wall of Agony. We had here Wall of Agony happening. And Wall of Agony was this frontline smashing wall of things that does seem like oddly bad for... Yeah, I don't see what piece of content they would be amazing at. But maybe I have to look at the specials, right? Ham, the place exists on your map. It's a unique place that you have. You just need to find it. It might take time X, right? So the live stream is happening 1 hour 28. And until then, we're going to throw an eye a bit on the Warlock and what it can do. So we get the basic skill. That's Command Fallen. Summon a Fallen Lunatic that charges targets and explodes. Command Fallen generates additional Wrath. For every demon or enemy you kill, last 2 seconds up more Wrath. Increase damage for every demon you have active. Okay, your demon summoned by Command Fallen deal increased damage. And every 15 times you hit enemies with Command Fallen, you gain Dominance. And Dominance is the resource you need for Fiend of Abaddon. Yeah, as far as I understand, if you have, like, you need Dominance to be able to summon him, right? So we got here the... Where is it? The basic skill. Let's look at it. So this would be the Command Fallen, right? So you have the standard, where you yeet the Command Fallen forward, summons a Fallen Lunatic that charges your target and explodes for damage. And this is pretty much your basic skill. Excited for the new stuff? Yes, Tank and Style. I'm very excited. I mean, Diablo 4 is truly revamping the formula. It's truly working to be a 3.0 release. And it's looking good. I mean, the Torment structuring looks really nice. That Torment 12 is Pit 100. The actual, like, reworks on the Paragon boards and everything on the skill trees, very promising. Uniques in general. I mean, I've seen some of the cool new uniques. Actually, as Diablo 4 creators, we get some insight, right? And we've seen some cool new stuff, like this one here for the Necromancer. That gives your maximum number of skeleton warriors is increased. That's 4 more warriors and 4 more mages. Another 8 minions on top. Together with the aspect of Occult Dominion, right? It's going to be 12 minions in total. So that's pretty crazy. You know, we get that's another 2, right? It'll be 12 more in total. Crazy. I love the idea of that, right? It's pretty nasty. Okay, so the Lunatic goes forward. And then we get the enhancement. Your demons summoned by Command Fallen deal increased damage for every second they're alive. Which I find a bit useless because it says for every second they're alive, right? But they're not alive a lot. Tankenstein, I appreciate it. I'm happy you've been enjoying the Windrose videos. And I think I have another one in the tank. KO, where you were this morning? Well, I couldn't do a live stream morning and then a live stream evening as well, right? We got to split this a little bit to make it more sense. And we get to command fall increase for every demon you have active up to. Yeah, these are the enhancements though, so you have to skill into them, right? So if I now if I put my points into command fallen, right? I can do the enhancements, but I don't have to. So if I don't want my command fallen to increase damage for every demon you have active, or well, actually the additional wrath generation makes sense, right? So you can spam more, and that they create dominance also makes sense. So this kind of like is bonus supportive tool. And then you have to choose what are you going to do. And these are interesting because now you get like the mega lunatic, right? So command a fallen summons a mega lunatic, sorry, which deals 136% bonus damage. Almost making this like a worthy like basic skill bomb, right? That's nice. Not going to complain. The meat shield says 1 second command fallen passively summons a lunatic that follows you around and destroys when enemies get close. But there are hellfire skills like this, right? So I'm not entirely sure what I think about it. And then Fallen Army commands Fallen summons 3 Fallen Grounds for 20 seconds, which deal damage and generate 10% wrath per hit. And it makes it like a hard choice what you want to do. I mean, I guess I would want to throw the mega bomb lunatic, right? And our next demon skill is bombardment. Okay, let's look at bombardment. Doom healing, there's bombardment. So you just smash. You just throw demons. That's like a corpse explosion, but only that you're throwing demons. All right, look at this. You're literally heating demons at them. Okay, well, I get it. Okay, so we're eating demons now, right? Each cast of bombardment deals increased damage to each enemy per hit. Nah, doesn't sound too hot. And we get bombardment throws an additional demon, so instead of 1, we throw 1 more. I mean, that seems decent. Each time bombardment throws a demon, it has a chance to also throw a surrounding enemy or lesser demon at the target location, and bombardment's chaotic spread is reduced by 300 and deals 30. So it's more clustered and more kaboom, right? That makes sense. I like to see that. That's mad. Okay, do we have pictures of this though? Yeah, that's the more clustered approach probably. And you know he gets a random summon here. I saw that. This is each bombardment impact has a chance to leave behind a mutilated demons for 6 seconds that attack surrounding enemies. Each cast of bombardment within 3 seconds of the last calls down more demons up to 4 additional. Each cast of bombardment within 3 seconds of the last. If I spam it. That's nice. That's nice. That's an absolute spam. And lastly, we get bombardment now only slams down demons randomly around yourself, but demons continue to rain down around you for 10 seconds. Interesting. So you would make the Endless Cascade be like a fire skill around you. I can see that. I mean, the Mangled Demons has a chance to leave behind mutilated demons, but I don't like that. I think that's bad. I mean, this year, raining down demons, that's quite intense. The problem is, if you commit to this bid, right? If you commit to the raining demons bid, then you're forced to just keep spamming it, right? So I don't think that's what you want to do. You really don't want to, like, have them, like, continuously happen around you. That just doesn't seem like the vibe there. Rather, like, each cast of bombardment within 3 seconds of the last cast down more demons. So you're just going to absolutely, like, cluster them together, and then go for a mega cluster super nuke, right? Never been excited for Diablo season ever. Honestly, it's a real rework, Stupid. The last time I was this excited was the Vessel of Hatred release, and I'm going to be honest with you. During the Vessel of Hatred release, I was a worse content creator. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Vessel of Hatred, but if I scroll back to the videos I made on the Vessel of Hatred release, which is now, well, a year ago? A bit more than a year ago, right? Yeah, a bit more than 1.5 years ago. I'm now a vastly better content creator. I will be able to make vastly better videos, right? To make everyone vastly happier and just deliver even more pure quality content. It wasn't that the videos were bad, right? But we just improved. We've just gotten better. We just know what, like, you know, what the people want. Really, really excited for those times. Oh, we're gonna be eating good. And you know what the best part is? The PoE launch is heavily delayed. In case you missed it. So PoE is end of May. Okay, so we got the demons less spread, and the demons throw additional demons. And then demons throw even more demons. That would be insane, right? I'm not sure. It says each cast of bombardment deals increased damage to each enemy per hit. But if you hit an enemy multiple times, do you then do more damage? Right? I'm not entirely sure if that's better. It's going to be intriguing. Okay, then we got to choose between Wall of Agony and Tortured Wretch if we want to go full Demon Warlock. But you might also actually use there's like an Abyss skill that kind of jumps you forward. I'm not entirely sure what it was called. There was like Sigil of Subversion or something, but yeah, we'll get to see. So is Wall of Agony worth it? It summons and fuses 5 demons into a line. The demons block enemies, which I find shitty. That can be Wall of Agony expires, demon brutes remain and attack nearby enemies. Wall of Agony is summoned in a cage formation that pulls enemies inward. And Wall of Agony is summoned in an encircling formation that knocks enemies back. I need to see that. Okay, Wall of Agony. I'm not too convinced by that one being any good. Or you can have drops on Yes Chase, but the drops are going online at 8 p.m. So when the live stream goes online, I can't force them online earlier. Right? So we get this, right? Cool. Wall of Agony cost is reduced by 50, but increased by 10 for every demon you have active. Each hit from Wall of Agony has a chance to knock down. It's bad. Spawns 3 demons, but it costs reduced by 50. Wall of Agony deals 2 increased damage for every point of dominance you have. That's kind of good. So they kind of make sense. But as you can see, the single targets, they're kind of horrible. So I wonder if the different, like, specializations make sense. So that's the cage. Wall of Agony is summoned in a cage formation. Slightly better for single targets. And what's the encircle now? Show me the encircle. Yeah, Wall of Agony is just not interesting. Rip to the chest that gives you bonus passives. I mean, it was from the beginning clear that the chest that gives us bonus passives wouldn't work anymore. I'm not sure why everybody's making such a big fuss about it, because it was clear as day that the chest wouldn't work anymore. That no, like, seriously, do we really expect to have the +1 to all passives in a game mode now where we don't have passives anymore, right? You don't have passives. So what does the Wretch do? A Tortured Wretch that taunts enemies, but I don't want to taunt. Taunt is useless. Casting Tortured Wretch my students stumble. Casting reduces the cost by 30. When enemies attack that they are enraged and gaining increased but take. Okay. Enemies and demons kill close to the Wretch extends its duration. Saws grind up enemies around the Tortured Wretch, dealing damage with a chance to eviscerate enemies for damage. Tortured Wretch no longer taunts, but now lasts for 5 seconds. You redirect all damage to it so long as they stay in the area. Tortured Wretch no longer spawns a demon, but instead dominates a target's mind. Nah, I mean, seriously, like, maybe the Death Soth is, like, the only I can actually see as something worth it, right? So that's Tortured Wretch here. So those are the saws. Maybe single target damage, because it has a chance to eviscerate the enemy. I don't see that popping, right, too much. Okay, next skill would be called a Rampage. Summon a Rampaging Brood for 10 seconds that smashes wildly, dealing damage per hit with a chance to eviscerate enemies. Eviscerating is the special thing that Warlock has, like the special damage boost. Killing an enemy or demon with Rampage increases its damage by 20. And casting Rampage compels your lesser demon skills to generate 0 wrath per hit for 5 seconds. Probably more wrath and not 0 wrath. It's kind of weirdly worded. Rampage has a chance to eviscerate elite enemies that are not already eviscerated. And Rampage smashes your lesser demons to fortify you for 2 max life. Okay. Each strike from Rampage sends a second smash forward. Rampage summons a larger demon that deals increased damage. A recast to command the demon to leap around the battlefield. Okay. And Rampage is now direct leap attack, dealing damage and transforming you into demon form for 5 seconds. This might technically be the best way to actually use Rampage as a bonus mobility skill. So instead of like using it as your... Right, you have this brute here. You have a chance to eviscerate the enemy, but instead of like putting this guy out, you just make it into a leaping skill forward. Greetings. I think that does make more sense. Here, so that's Rampage. So you get either the Shockwave, right? Then you get the Shadow Demon, or you just use it as a mobility skill. I feel like mobility skill might be it as like the easy demon form mobility skill, as it doesn't have a cooldown. So I can spam this, right, to move as far and fast as I want. Could be a possibility to actually use this. I mean, it will remove this, it will make the skill from a demonology skill. It will make it a hellfire skill. I'll have to see if that is something that we can potentially use or not. Then we got a Sigil of Summons. Create a binding ritual that extends the duration of your summons. Killing enemies or demons within fuels the ritual to summon a demon. You can have up to 3 demons active at once. KDB, I haven't actually checked out the update, so I'm sorry to hear that you get screwed over by it. We haven't looked at what Crimson Desert put out there. Didn't have the time. Gotta focus on one thing here. Enemies within Sigil of Summons take increased damage from your lesser demon skills. Problem is, this is a greater demon skill. This is a lesser demon skill. Interesting. So Bombardment would get more damage with the Sigil of Summons. Huh. Yeah. And then we got deals increased damage, but requires more skills per summon. So active cooldown is reduced by 3 seconds when your greater demons die. But I don't have greater demons yet that I'm planning to use, so I'll have to think about it. Okay, Sigil Summon now summons up to 2 additional demons. When Sigil Summons kills enemies, they gain increased attack speed. Okay. So now requires 12 kills to summon up to 2 Dark Succubi, which fire Abyssal Blood Stars. Or Sigil Summon now requires 16 kills to summon a Hellworm that mimics your attacks by regurgitating related demons as you cast lesser demon skills. Honestly, that one, Sigil of Summons, together with the Bombardment skill, and then just nuke away. Let's see. We got Sigil of Summons. Where is it? Put the Sigil down, right? And then you gotta... Yeah, here, if you use your basic skill, it pretty much propagates your basic skill. Okay. Then if we have the Shadow one, and we summon demons, then at some point we get the 2 Succubi. Yeah, there they are. Makes sense. And lastly, we get the one that summons the Hellworm. And if we then have the Hellworm, right, and use our Bombardment skill, then we can have the Hellworm pretty much spew forward the Bombardment skill. As I understood it. Okay. That's kind of nifty. I think I know already what direction I'm going to operate in. So this looks all very, very promising. And then lastly, we get the 4 ultimates, where we get Metamorphosis and we get Fiend of Abaddon. So this summons a massive fiend for 15 seconds that attacks enemies, dealing damage per swipe. Fiend of Abaddon deals increased damage for each nearby enemy present when it's summoned. Casting Fiend of Abaddon increases the damage of your lesser demon skills. So if I cast Fiend of Abaddon, then for 15 seconds, I would have my bombardment again do more damage. I mean, this is all about bombardment. I'm not sure if bombardment main works, but it kind of like makes sense, right? Damage against elites and enemies. And Fiend of Abaddon now costs 30 dominance and has no cooldown. Boom. That's the intriguing part, right? You would have to figure out a way to get more dominance, and that's where items come in, because we obviously don't know yet what we can do to get dominance. You have the command Fallen that will get you dominance. So every 15 times you hit enemies with command Fallen, you gain 1 dominance. The idea would then be, hey, what if we make them meat shields? Because then we don't actually have them, because every 1 second's command Fallen passively summons a lunatic. So instead of using it now as a mega lunatics, you have it passively rotate around you, then create these dominance, right? So we would technically be able to create dominance to make him free, technically. Campfire in an hour, yes sir. Campfire's in an hour. And we're just looking up things. We're having fun. We're checking out some early stuff, right? Whatever we have. Okay, if enemy survives more than 5 hits from Fiend of Abaddon, then each subsequent hit increases its damage versus the target by 2% and extends its lifetime by 2 seconds up to 60 seconds. Oh. Oh. That's so good versus single targets. Yeah. I mean, a boss will survive more than 5 hits, and then the Fiend just continues smashing and getting stronger. Fuck yeah. If Abaddon now summons a demon for 30 seconds that attacks for per swipe, a recast to command the demon to do a massive smash. Nah. Then we got Vanguard of Flames. Now summons a demon for that moves you and attacks. Nah, I mean, I kind of like the one that just is very efficient against killing bosses, right? So that makes like super sense for me. I guess I have a native grasp for what makes sense, what doesn't make sense usually. See, that's the Fiend of Abaddon, and he goes like, swipe, swipe. Dude is a menace. What are we counting down for? Campfire. So this second resource, by the way, here is your dominance. So you gotta get that dominance up to then go out. I assume that the Fiend of Abaddon gets attacks faster the more attack speed I have. So if I have 100% attack speed, then he just smashes and dashes like there's no tomorrow. Right? Because it doesn't say that there's a limit. It says each subsequent hit is 2% more damage, right? So the faster that dude hits, the better it is. I mean, this brings us really to a full Warlock build already. Right? We get the Command Fallen together with Bombardment into potentially Rampage for jumping. Then Sigil of Summons together with Fiend of Abaddon. And then we even have like a skill left open for whatever we would like to do. Right? So I could add whatever supportive skill that might make sense or not. Ice Queen, thank you for the Prime subscription. Ice Queen, very good to see you there. Good evening. Hope you're doing well. And we haven't even looked at the soul shards because I forgot it completely that we have this. Casting a greater demon skill increases lesser demon skills cast speed by 25. And cooldown rate by 20. When 200 of your listed demons die, your next greater demon skill has no dominance cost. Yeah. That was Mass Sacrifice. Agrim now passively spawns a Vile Child lesser demon every second. Summoning a greater demon increases the spawn rate by 50%. We gotta actually go for Agrim here, right? Summon Agrim, the Demonic Legion. Okay. Summoning a greater demon increases the spawn rate by 50 for 4 up to 150. Additional stacks do not refresh this duration. Then you got your unstoppable as long as you have active lesser demons. When you would become crowd control, one of your lesser demons is sacrificed. When enemies eviscerated, your summoned demons prioritize them and gain increased movement speed. Demonology skills gain 2 chances to eviscerate enemies that are already eviscerated. Huh. I mean, you definitely want to have the Legion shard, and then you just got to choose which fragment you're going to use. But yeah, so greater demon skills increase lesser demons cast speed for 25. So you pretty much have to use the rampage jumping, right? You jump forward, rampage, greater demon skill, to then boost your lesser demon skills, aka bombardment and command fallen. The sigil as well is a lesser demon skill. So all of these are boosted and have better cooldown if I jump for every 10 seconds. That's crazy. And then on top, we got to think about like what fragment to use, but I'm probably going to go with like the evisceration fragment, but I'm not entirely sure. I am very happy already. You know? This is looking very, very good so far. The countdown is for the Campfire Chat that we're all waiting for. That's about to come very soon now. Okay. Because we're all excited to know, like, we hopefully are getting all the skill trees. I doubt that we'll get all the skill trees, but it would be really nice. We have some information. So there was, for example, another skill tree from my friend Jesse. He's an amazing person. He had, due to his website, some early access to Diablo. Let me see if I can find the skill trees. Because there was also the Necromancer skill tree just waiting for us. And obviously, as a Necro lover, I am very invested. Not like a little bit invested. Very invested. So let's see if I could find the video that I'm talking about. I think we got it here. See how we got war plans, torment. Here was some about the torment levels, what they actually give. New skill tree. So there were some skills shown here in the Necro skill tree. And this was all Barb. Some really quick going through, but we're not interested in Barb. Wanted to throw an eye on the Necromancer that's coming afterwards. See, because this is the Necro, right? So we got Bone Splinters become Darkness skill that deals shadow damage and seeks enemies when a splinter hits enemies. Okay. We got the Bloodlands, which is still the normal throw a lance dealing damage to an enemy that ricochets to others. So that hasn't changed. But it has, obviously, 3. We have here Bloodlands ricochets, Bloodlands fortifies. We got Bloodlands consumes 2 stacks of overpower to throw an additional lance, dealing 50% of normal damage. Mildly excited. I'm super giga excited. I'm not mildly excited for what the expansion has to offer. Expansion is going to be huge. Huge. Bloodlands essence cost is reduced. Okay. We got Bloodlands deals increased damage to its primary target per lanced enemy. Which is still sad because if you don't have a lot of lanced enemies, it's useless. Every third cast of Bloodlands forms a blood orb under the first enemy hit. Casting Bloodlands will pick up a blood orb around you and conjure an additional lance from it, dealing of normal damage. Nice. So you get Gore Quills now built into Bloodlands instead of needing an aspect. Oh, there was Festering Wounds. Wait, there was a Shadow skill. Okay, Bloodlands becomes a Darkness skill and deals shadow damage. Enemies hit are permanently lanced, and the lance deals 32 corrupted damage per second to them. But can I lance one enemy more often? So can I keep lancing the same dude? Blood Surge Nova is increased by 5 for each enemy drawn from up to 50. So that one hasn't actually changed, making Blood Nova still weird. Blood Surge deals more damage. Yes, Blood Surge fortifies. Then we got Blood Surge consumes overpower stacks for more damage, and Blood Surge weakens enemies. That's useless. Then Blood Surge Nova echoes again after a short delay. So again, Aspect gone, chat, Bloodbath in, and Blood Surge expels smaller Blood Novas on your minions. Oh, Blood Surge minions Nova damage is increased by, There used to be a unique amulet for that, and now technically Blood Surge can be used on our ally minions. That might be interesting for leveling. That might be really interesting for leveling, just getting that early, huh? When you run around with 7 minions, and in the beginning you instantly have Blood Surge come around all your minions. Oh, I'm intrigued for leveling. That's kind of cute, honestly. So we get Sever, and Sever deals more damage. Sever has essence cost reduced. Sever deals increased damage per stack of ferocity, and then Sever slows enemies. We can also turn Sever now into 3 additional specters that used to be an aspect as well. Then we got Inexorable Reaper, which is a movement skill, ladies and gentlemen. So Sever is a mobility skill. What happens in an hour? Clown, the Campfire Chat. Where they will finally tell us probably what Season 13 is. Because we don't know what Season 13 is yet, right? There is Season 13 to come. So that's going to be quite intriguing. So, mobility skill, and Sever deals cold damage. That's useless. Okay, Bone Spear. What does Bone Spear do? We got Bone Spear deals increased damage to the enemy hit. Oh no! You should have shown us way more. I'm sad that there isn't more. I'm not sure, like, this is the maximum we get here from this video, sadly. Even though I would really like to see some more. Hey everybody. Let's see. There was also Paragon boards, I think, for the... See, they're like, let's see. Oh, I get some more. I get some more. We get some more shenanigans here from Rob regarding the Necromancer. That's interesting. So we get here the ultimates now. Blood Wave. Conjure a tidal wave of blood that deals damage and knocks back enemies. Then we got Blood Wave deals increased damage while you're fortified. Grants damage reduction. We have casting Blood Wave overfills your overpower by 2. What does overfill in this case mean? I mean, overpower stats increases your damage by 15% per stack. This effect can up to 4 stacks and each lasts for 4 seconds. But what does overfill mean? Blood Wave forms up to 2 blood orbs. Good. And we got Blood Wave launches an additional wave. Fishing. Yes, fishing is coming, ladies and gentlemen. To Diablo 4. Blood Wave becomes a darkness guilds. Desecrated ground. And, oh, Hemoglobia was too quick. Blood Wave becomes a core skill and has no cooldown but costs 50 essence. Blood Wave can choose a shorter wave that deals damage and not locks. Overfill should be increasing max stats, right? I would probably assume it lands up with 6 out of 4 as well. Makes, from a description sense. I just hope that there's, generally speaking, more stacking happening. Because the new Overpower wants to have as many stacks as possible. Not just some stacks, not just maybe stacks. It wants to have all the stacks, right? If you thought you have enough stacks, you want to have even more stacks. And then some more stacks. And then some more stacks. Okay, Army of the Dead is still... Let's see. Army of the Dead is still what it is promises to be. Okay, Call Forth Deeper Dead, Volatile Skeletons. Yeah, sure. Standard. Then we got Army of the Dead's cooldown is reduced by 20 seconds. Damn. Army of the Dead deals increased damage for each minion you have. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is crazy because there is a new skill. So chat here. There's this new item, the Undercrown. Which says your maximum number of skeletal warriors and mages is increased together with skeletal dominance. That's again 12 more. So that would be 24% more damage to your Army of Dead. Not bad. Army of Death has a chance to form a corpse, or Army of Death passively summons a volatile skeleton every 4 seconds. Wait, on top, well, that's bad. That's bad, right? That's bad. We don't need volatile skeletons every 4 seconds. That's just terrible. Okay, but what is the... Okay, Unyielding Commander. Wait. Unyielding Commander is on this one now? While Army of the Dead is active, your minions take 90% reduced damage and do 50% increased summon damage. Okay. Then Army of the Dead will converge on your target. Each time a volatile skeleton explodes on an enemy, they take 10% increased damage from your army up to... Oh. The problem is that it would take a while to work. But it's a 300% damage increase to your Army of the Dead, if you want to play that way, right? So we would probably reduce the cooldown and then turn this into a nuke skill, right? And Army of the Dead deals cold damage and freezes enemies. I gotta say, this has the potential to turn Army of the Dead into a nuke skill. Unquestionable. Bone Storm does the same as it always did, then has increased damage reduction, consumes like corpses, barrier, vulnerable, and that was it for what we see on the Necromancer. Okay, but there was some here, Abyssal. For every 5 willpower, you do Abyssal skills, but do we have some other stuff for the Warlock? We had Arcfiend, that was Demon Form because you Demonology skills, so we have the standard multipliers yet, yeah. Okay. Whatever happens in an hour, a campfire chat that hopefully gives us all the skill trees, more information, more stuff about uniques, right? I mean, we got quite some uniques that are looking mighty juicy. And I don't like that we have 3 Warlock uniques too. So we got the Gauntlet of Sheol, summoning Fiend of Abaddon, sacrifices all other greater demon summons, dealing Fiend of Abaddon's damage around them, increasing his damage by 24 per demon killed. So if I have a lot of greater demons, I could make Fiend of Abaddon strong. I don't see that being a powerful ability. And we have Agrim's Schism. Agrim and its summons deal 50% increased damage. You additionally summon Agrim's other half and gain a second charge of Command Agrim. Whatever that means. Right? We know we can summon Agrim. We know he's the demon from the demonology tree, but that's about it. Seed of Horizon. Your demonology skills deal increased damage per wrath you have, and you take reduced damage per dominance you have. Your demonology skills deal increased damage per wrath you have. And wrath is your resource. So I'm resource stacking? Huh. That's actually pretty good. Chef Caution, is it ours? It's a 52-minute cooldown, gods. Druid has summons, AJC, look at this, Greenwalker's Signet. Casting or channeling a human skill has a 15% chance to trigger an additional equipped non-human skill. If we're now looking at the Druid and the potential that he would still keep here the pack leader, critical strikes have a chance to reduce a companion skill. I mean, the companion skills, they do count as human skills, I assume, because, well, you're in human form when you're using them, right? So you could already play the Greenwalker's Signet and have then your skills trigger other skills. So if we play all, right? If we play all companion skills, that should be more than possible to kind of get triggered. Technically. We don't know. Wait, let me open up the Diablo 4 creator chat if there's anything I have missed. Always gotta have my eyes out on this. Okay. What hardware do you use from SteelSeries? I did actually get a new one, Baltazar, that I haven't used yet. Because I got myself a new mouse. Since my mouse is actually falling apart. Good thing is I mostly use wireless mice because, well, wireless mice for the win, right? What character do you plan to play? We start with a Warlock and Summoner because Summoner Warlock is amazing. We also do have the SteelSeries headset, but we don't use it because mostly I have speakers. So I have the Arena 9 speakers, and right now I'm working with speakers, right? I totally did not let the mouse drop. That would be crazy. Preposterous, ladies and gentlemen. So this is my current one. I've been using it for quite a while already. It is maybe a bit dirty and I should clean it more often, right? And this is the next generation of this. It looks a bit better on the bottom, and it has overall just like a slight translucent improved design. It's hard to tell, but we can actually hook this up right away. It's not charged, but I should be able to hook it right up and also get the wireless adapter running. One can be turned off. And just like that, Mr. Ponyhoff does have a new mouse. Right? Who doesn't want to have that? Should I buy the next DLC? Well, so if you don't get the DLC, okay, you won't be getting the Warlock. You won't be getting the Paladin. If you don't get the new DLC, you won't be getting the Horadric Cube. Yep, you're not getting Scovis. You're not getting the Amazon Mercenary that might or might not come. You're not getting access to also the new activity called the Echoing Hatred. Which is going to exclude you from quite some stuff. And whatever else there is to come with the Scovis Islands, because I feel like that Scovis is going to be the best way to farm, right? So yeah, you're going to be kind of out there in the open. See that? That's now the new mouse, which looks like here. It's like white at the bottom. Looks great. I remember the Alex was a tiny bit, yeah, it was a bit smaller than my current one. I have to get used to this again. Yeah, so I'm not saying that you must buy the DLC, but you kind of must buy the DLC because without the DLC, yeah, you're going to play half the game. Right? What can I say? Lost Boy, good to see you there. Wonderful, good greetings. Welcome, howdy doodle, dandy Andy. Pleasure to have you with us. You know what we can check? We can quickly check if my mouse is already somewhat charged. Yeah. Okay, let's see if I can connect the wireless. Connect the wireless and turn on the... Oh, wait a second. 2.4. I love wireless mice. We gotta reduce the deep weight. We gotta remove this. We gotta remove that. I'm not sure what you are. Oh shit, I'm a 1600 DPI gamer. Right? It works the best. 1000 hertz. Yeah. Don't need more. Why would you do more? No, 1000 hertz has always been enough. I love wireless tools because I hate cable pull. Right? I'm a simple man. So yeah, we're planning to play Warlock. And I'm planning to play Summoner Warlock. I find it sad though. I don't know what kind of like cool uniques we can be expecting. So that's a bit sad. We know of some, right? Some uniques already. But I don't know about like the actual... Here, we get some aspects here as well. So some aspects we can see. Brimstone, we get aspect of Peril. Bane, there is Hellbent. Oh yeah, Hellbent Commander does actually work. That's summon damage. Abyss Guilds. We get Malicious Aspect. Well, Demon Form, no. Killing enemies, critical strikes. And there's not really many of the demon-related skills that we can see here. It's a bit sad because I kind of like to see all the cool related skills, right? Hell Fracture, that's a new also. Warlock 1. Adazar, I'm a fan of the headsets too. I like to use my speakers whenever I can. Like if I require a headset because I need to listen to like specific things, like right where sound actually matters, then I use headset. But if sound doesn't matter, no headset use. Never. Also, chat, we get a new something for Necromancer. Are you ready for this? Look at that. Astral projection. Bone spirit no longer seeks enemies and instead spirals around you, piercing through enemies and exploding for 40 damage when it hits them. Now, I'm not entirely sure how you can pierce through an enemy and explode when you hit them. Because what is it now? Right? Is the demon gonna go through and explode? Or not? I can't wait to see some druid changes. I have actually not. I think Moxie took a peek at it, right? Let me check. Not mistaken, Moxie took he took some screenshots for the druid. Here, we know that was Warlock. Come on, Moxie, be useful. But it's like harsh to find like these things. So we know that there is like you can turn skills into bear related skills, right? That you can only use them with a bear. But oh, man, no, there's not much. There's the 2 uniques, right? But nah, there wasn't anything druid related. I'm not sure if the video from Rob had something in it, bear related. Always hard to find like these bonus informations, right? I mean, everyone made like their videos, but like the videos have mostly like 0 substance, no offense, right? It's a lot of watching trailers and that kind of stuff. But I like to only present you cool stuff, like actual things, not just like. I have a little bit druid here, not much, Chad. We get some druid. Here, there is some druid. So this is Spiritborn, obviously. This is druid, right? Earthen Bulwark, giving you the Earthen Bulwark. So everything that we know so far, there is Resolve, gain additional ravens. Ravens increase ravens attack speed. So there's like definitely more choice now that you can make them poisonous wolves. So each companion has also the 3 respective choices, which is actually good. I wonder if there was in the this is from a video from here. Here. Perfection. So barbarian, druid. There we go. We get a bit more view now on the druid here. Because I'm personally like a big fan of the druid as well, to know what you can actually exactly do with it. By the way, look at the basic skills. So the basic skill can be werewolf, or the basic skills can be made werebear. Aha. That's already intriguing, because usually it would be a one-way street, right? But it's not anymore. It's more precise. Okay, lightning storm, you can choose human form or wolf. And we're back. Sorry for the short hiccup on the internet. Everything should be there again. We are back. Excusez-moi, ladies and gentlemen. There was a slight hiccup in the matrix, right? So we get the human form. And then landslide gains additional But that means every form has this. So we got the pulverized. That's obviously a bear skill. The tornado can be werewolf or that. Please show me the next tier. I need to see this for the boulder, right? If we can make boulder a different tier or not, because that would actually be really amazing. So ravens and so on, they can be human form, right? Obviously human form. Okay, ravens, passive. Oh, but I need to see the next tier. So I want to know if the... So here, boulder can be bear or human form. That's really important because usually you would need a unique to make boulder a different form, right? So I have boulder now, then boulder has a chance to launch additional boulders. Boulder gains critical chance, additional gains 1 extra critical chance per stack of resolve. Then we get boulder grants life as fortify and boulder are slowed, okay. We get boulder as werebear or boulder is human. Then a boulder deals increased damage to first enemy hit. The bonus is reduced by 50 for each subsequent enemy hit afterwards. Boulder becomes a core skill that costs 60 spirit, has no cooldown, may be cast while moving. Boulder now orbits you. What? Okay, so instead of a dolmen stone, we get this all now nicely wrapped up. Just like that. Boom. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. And then Lancer. Boulder can now be cast at the target location. Trample is not interesting. Do we have an ultimate? So we get the... Okay, do we maybe have for Necromore? Zauberer? Necromancer. So we got with the Necro already the first skills. We had that before. Then we had like the Ferocity and everything, yeah. But I wanted to see the skeleton because this is something that has been missing. So we have not yet seen anything skeletal related, right? How that has now moved into the tree or has not moved into the tree. So, okay, so damage bonus. Skeletal... Wait. Let's jump like slightly back. Commanding your skeletal warrior causes them to deal increased damage. So there seems to be a way to command them finally, right? Heal. Then we got... Commanding a skeleton grants 3 stacks of resolve. Skeletons have a chance to make enemies vulnerable. We also have the skeleton warrior's maximum number by 3. So that's not 2-3, it's by 3. Skeleton warriors lose their max life per second while combat and explode. And wait, come on, don't be so stingy. Okay, if all of your skeleton warriors have been summoned, skeleton warriors briefly summons a skeleton priest instead. Yeah, skeleton priest empowers your minions for increasing their skill and healing them. Yeah, that's useless. At least we... Oh wow, corpse tendrils is in the level 4 tree. That's so weird. Corpse tendril generate essence. They give bonus crit. They have lucky hit chance and they make vulnerable. Then we jumped here, and this is like the jump that we're talking about. Poltergeist, right? Bone Spirit now explodes, spawns 3 smaller ones. Bone Skillet becomes a darkness skill, and Bone Spirit now hovers around you. A boulder was limited, yes, Swain, but that potentially doesn't matter, right? I don't see a nerf from 5 to 10 as a nerf because potentially with all the damage scaling that we're getting and all the different kind of stuff we're getting and the set bonuses that we're getting as well, is it really a nerf, right? We will have to see if the nerf comes down to be a nerf or if it doesn't just literally not matter in the slightest, right? That's kind of like something absolutely to consider there. Golem, please, could you hover over Golem? No, I want to see Golem. Okay, Iron Maiden, which is actually useless, and they didn't add any bonus curses. Okay, check this, ladies and gentlemen. Despite us complaining that curses feel absolutely lackluster, they didn't add another one. Enemies afflicted with Iron Maiden will be executed. Okay, then and no wonder cost essence, yes. Iron Maiden Enemies hit while afflicted with Iron Maiden have a chance to randomly ground stack of ferocity or overpower. Not bad. Enemies afflicted with Iron Maiden are vulnerable. Well, at least when enemies afflicted with Iron Maiden, you gain thorns. That's useless. And then we jumped over to, obviously, the skills down here, right? It's sad that, like, if I had access to this, I would have checked things way more thoroughly, chat. Okay, what do we have here? This is armor resistance, right? 3 to curse skills. We got bonus experience. Lucky hit chance to deal cold damage. There is +2 to all skills, right? That's fair for mastery. So nothing like directly... Art of the Bone Weaver, movement speed, quintessence is active, piece of electro. This is like... These are just the seals, right? What they do, pretty much. Blood skill damage, macabre cooldown, minion attack speed, maximum life, skeletal mage damage. No, it increases skeletal mages, Chad. So the seals here, the unique seals, I thought it was set damage, but if you actually look, it is, here's minion attack speed, right? But then it's +1 to 3 to skeletal mages. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Well. How are you looking at the new skill trees? Well, there have been a lot of reviewers. Sadly, I wasn't able to get a review key. It's a bit hard as a Diablo partner. Yes, shame on us, Chan. As an actual journalist, you get access. But if you're a Diablo partner, you don't get access because why would we? Yeah, yay. But it is what it is. Accepted, right? So there are a lot of streams out there, a lot of videos, and you kind of have to carry it all together. It's a lot annoying. Because I have to watch 10 different videos for like 5 minutes of information, right? However, it's really exciting. Because there's a lot of cool knowledge to be gained. There's a lot of really cool things to look at. I'm just excited, you know? Excited to see more things, to see like what the game has to offer. But end of the day, I'm kind of like forced to look at all of this because I need to be ready. Oh, I wasn't aware that he's gonna hover over the uniques. Damn. Okay, Litless Wall is still Bone Storm. We got Mace of King Leoric. Your golem will consume one of your skeleton mages or warriors every 8 seconds, healing to full life and gaining 80% increased damage for 10 seconds. That's technically shit because the Grave Bloom was better if then the Grave Bloom is still in the game, right? Even Piercer is the same as it always been. Red Blessing is different now. We get the Unmaker with Soul Rift damage. The Cruel's Embrace. Casting picks up blood orbs around you to expel smaller blood novers. Better now. Casami's Legacy now forms a wave on each side of you. Both waves converge at your feet. Okay, Casami still works. Gravewalker's Hand. Your essence generation is increased by 40%. Your bone skills deal increased damage for each point of essence you have when cast. Up to 80%. That's your key passive? Hector, GGG is forcing you to buy D4. Hector, the delay is quite sad from Grinding Gear Games. But as always, let him cook, right? Rather have a cooked update than an uncooked update where you're going to be like, what the fuck did you just do, you little shits? At least that's how I'm looking at it, right? I know there people are really sad and people are really, oh god, I missed something, I'm an idiot. You know, when you release a short on YouTube, you cannot influence the thumbnail of the short unless you actually go on your phone, you select the short, then you press edit on the short, and then on your phone, you can change the thumbnail of the short. So that's all the steps you have to take in case you want to alter something like that. Which is a big yikes, but it is what it is. Okay, we got a Gravewalker's Hand. We talked about it. Then Bloodmoon Breaches. Your summons have a chance to... You deal increased critical strike damage. Yep, that's the same. Zangovar. Okay, your summons... only Army of the Dead can now unleash the souls, causing bows, Army of the Dead, and souls to deal increased damage per soul unleashed. That's 20 times 50% more damage. That's a lot. What does Zangovar say currently? Like, it doesn't say the same, right? Do we have to go to pit 150 to get glyphs up to 150? I don't know, Daniel. I really don't know how the new glyph scaling works, that they're now going up instead of 100 levels, 150 levels. I assume that you don't have to go to pit 150 to actually make it work, Daniel. So I assume there is a new system, new diminishing returns, new ways to kind of make it pop off. However, like, I don't know. We might get to know more today, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. We got the Zangavars because I wanted to know. So that one says in the current form. Yeah, it said 30% more damage, right? Per soul unleashed. Because that was 30%, that was 600% more damage. But in the current form, it would be 1,000% more damage. That could make the Army of the Dead finally good. This is the new Undercrown that gives us more skeletons. Then they have the Vengeful Sinew. Bone Spirits explode an additional time. Ooh. Finally, that one is good. There used to be a Vengeful Spirit aspect. Now an item does that. Instead of detonating immediately, Corpse Explosion now summons a volatile skeleton that charges a random enemy and explodes. The thing is, if Corpse Explosion summons volatile skeletons that explode, right? Does that work together with the new Army of the Dead that's at 300% bonus damage? Death Grip. Your maximum number of Skeletal Warriors is increased by 6. Skeletal Warriors cleave with their attacks and deal 40% increased damage. Commanding them onto a target increases the damage that target takes from your Skeletal Warriors by 40%. Damn, by 6. I mean, with the helmet, that's 10 more, that's 12 more, that's 15 Skeletal Warriors. Ooh. What's your opinion on the power creep? We'll have to see. I mean, items, as you can see, can now have multipliers on them, which we will need, Vetter, because you have to consider that we currently do not have passives anymore. So with the Vessel, with the Lord of Hatred coming, passives are being moved out of the skill tree. Ergo, like, you're not going to be able to just get 20% more damage, 30%, 24%, right? That kind of more damage. You kind of rely on your items doing this. And here's a 30% shadow damage multiplier. I'm not entirely sure how long that will take, right? Okay, the Will of Rathma is the key passive. Obviously, as you can see here, it's just simply the key passive. And then also 63% critical strike damage multiplier, greater affix, not master worked, right? It's mad. Corpse Tendrils gain the effect of every upgrade and is automatically cast every 6 seconds. Need a later play. You or Bloodlands, and when Bloodlands would deal damage to you, instead fortifies you and maximum life and has or Blood Orb. Not bad. Omen of Pain. A dark aura surrounds you, inflicting Decrepify and Iron Maiden on enemies. Curses inflict this way spread. Yeah, so we need the Omen of Pain. I mean, this is now the aspect that we used to have, and it's now a unique item. I'm not sure why so many unique items, or why so many aspects are now unique items, so I'm not entirely sure where that is going. Hand of Nas, your maximum number of skeleton mages is increased by 4, and they're upgraded to Archmages. Hey, didn't the Hand of Nas need us to sacrifice our skeletons? Correct me if I'm wrong. Chat? Didn't the Hand of Nas? Okay, when a skeleton mage attacks enemies, 25, well, safety, sacrifice bows, warriors, and golems. That means I can actually play the Hand of Nas together with my skeleton mages and together with my golems. That's cool. I mean, this is truly an actual necromancer army that you can play. What a crew. When consuming a corpse, there's a chance to create a decaying. Yeah, that one is still useless. I don't know why this one exists. Like, why they did not remove this one from the game. It is absolutely beyond me. I have zero frame of reference understanding or anything. Right? Why you ever would just keep this. Bloodless Scream. Your darkness skills, enemies, 240 frozen bosses. You still the same. Deathless Visage. Critical strikes with bone spears. Now Echo Burst. Same. Pact of Bone. Pact of Bone is now the Ring of Medellin. Okay, this is new, chat. Your minions gain attack speed and critical strike chance. When one of your minions dies, your other minions enrage. Ah, there's the new golem unique. Here, there was the new golem unique that says, oh, fuckity fuck chan. Here, this one. Your golem will consume one of your mages or warriors every 8 seconds. So every 8 seconds, one will be consumed. And then you get the ring that will give you more damage. But it's only 3 seconds. Is that worth it? What's the timer for? Developer update live stream. We're going to have to then, like, turn everything away. Okay, so Pact of Bone. We got Hangman's Hand. Sever deals increased damage and sends out one additional specter to attack a nearby enemy. Huh? What? That's so tone deaf. Gloom Ward. Shadow damage infects enemies with Shadow Blight for 2 seconds. Every 8th time an enemy receives shadow damage from you while they are affected by Shadow Blight, they take an additional 600% of that damage as corrupting damage over 4 seconds. Okay. Bloodwake. Blood Mist casts corpse explosions. Yeah, we get that one now. And then Path of Trogul is still Bone Prison, Bone Splinters, and Maximum Essence. Well, some of them, I'm not sure why they exist. Like the Mortar Crew, they essentially didn't do anything about it. But I gotta say, this looks mighty juicy. I wonder, does he show like more of the Druid uniques? Here. Right, we got the Wildheart Boots. We got the Kempson Stepwalkers. Matt Wolf's Glee, still Lacerate. Insatiable Fury says, for 2 seconds after casting Trample, you may cast Trample again without incurring cooldown. Trample additionally deals damage. Stormhowl. Gatlin's Birthright was changed. Cyclone Armor is now automatically triggered once every 8 seconds. That's kind of sad. I missed the old Gatlin's Birthright. Pulverize pulls distant enemies towards you. In addition, Pulverize deals bonus damage. This damage bonus is increased to 250 if the target was pulled towards you is unstoppable or a boss. That's sad. It puts all the poison pools away. Hunter's Dennis. Hurricane ends after at least 10 seconds. An explosion occurs. Lightning Storm gains additional strike. Yeah, that's good. We like that. Will of Stone, Earth Spike, Projectile. Dolmen Stone is now when Boulder would have normally expired. It instead explodes, dealing additional damage to surrounding enemies. That's really good because you can now have 5 boulders, only 5 boulders. So if I use the Dolmen Stone and I spam my 5 boulders, then I'm going to have a lot of explosions, right? Is there a planner for the new skill trees yet? No, Midnight Toker. The only planner that we have is for Warlock. And for Warlock, we have a complete planner. For Warlock, I also have put together a preliminary build. So like, you can expect before the expansion drops that I will have 3 builds for you, but they'll be drafts, okay? So they'll literally be, this is kind of what I'm planning to do, right? This is what I attempt to go for. And then obviously as we play this season, you'll get more of the real builds going out there. That's a little bit like how I'm planning to work around this and see that I get you the best content possible, fast possible. Was there no PDR for this coming season? Sir, this is not a season. What is coming is the Lord of Hatred DLC, right? We're not just getting a new Diablo. We're getting a, like, the only way how you could access this was if you had review access, okay? Only possible with review access, nothing else. So no, sadly, there was no PDR. There was nothing early. We didn't get an early view. I'm not entirely sure why the developers really went that way. I mean, they obviously wanted to keep it as fresh as possible, to not have everyone have like the meta builds ready and so on. On the one hand, I'm fine with this. On the other hand, obviously the actual news websites now have an advantage content-wise over the actual Diablo content creators, which kind of stings. But then again, who's going to watch IGN for a Diablo build? Right? No offense. But who's going to watch IGN for a Diablo build? So, yeah. I guess that may they have all the advantage they want to have. I'm not too fussed about it, right? We got Mark of the Old Wolf. Gain bonus poison damage. Direct damage from werewolf skills gains. Okay. Bloodhowl is automatically cast when you shapeshift into a werewolf in every 4 seconds while in werewolf form. In addition, you gain bonus damage for 4 seconds whenever Bloodhowl is triggered. Oh, that's nice. Kill of the Blackwing. Ravens increase damage, and shapeshifting into a different form or activating a companion skill summons a raven that attacks nearby enemies. Summoning a raven has a chance to call forth an unkindness for 10 seconds, increasing the number of ravens summoned to 3. Yeah, that hasn't really changed much. Heart of Asgard, that's new. When you hit at least one enemy with a maul, increases attack speed and damage. Okay, super maul gameplay. The Vasilis Prayer is now the Autumnal Crown. Wind Cheer deals poison damage over time. Wind Cheer has a chance to restore. That's sad. Might of the Urzin. Bonus damage for each stack of resolve one werebear form. Additionally, you automatically gain 1 stack of resolve every 1 second. Not bad, technically. Dire Totem. Grizzly Rage is now a werewolf skill and shapeshifts you into Dire Wolf. That used to be a skill. Mjolnir is still Cataclysm, Unlimited Spirit, Fury of the Wilds. We went over that earlier. Earthbreaker. Landslide leaves behind Tectonic Spikes. Stone of Vehamen is Stoneburst still. Nothing changed. Iridius is different. Storm Strike chains to twice as many targets and gains bonus damage. Nah, I'm fine. Great stuff with the Crone. Claw gains all Variants and gains... Oh, you full Claw gameplay. People are going to love that. Green Collar, we had that. A Court of the Wilds. Your companion skills each gain 1 additional companion and deal bonus damage. Gain the passive effects of Ravens, Wolves, and Poison Creepers for free. Okay. Dirge of Iridia. Storm skills you cast grant 1 spirit and deal bonus damage. These bonuses are doubled when damaging a vulnerable, immobilized, or slowed enemy. Oh, wow. Huh. So just a ring that gives you 70% bonus damage? Ryan, the Shield Bash Paladin, would use Godslayer Crown on every piece of content instead of Air of Prediction, unless you're bossing or pit pushing. Okay? Pit farming, Godslayer. Helltide, Godslayer. Infernal Hordes, Godslayer. But if you then go for pit pushing, Air of Perdition. Greenwalkers, Poison Creeper gains Germinate Variant for free. Dark Howl, Debilitating Roar is now werewolf skill. Fractured Runestone, your Earth skills deal bonus critical strike damage. This bonus is increased to 100 with at least 4 stacks of overpower. You passively gain 2 stacks of overpower every 10 seconds. Wow. Okay, so 100% bonus damage on our boulder. Just like that. Is the timer 4? Mine is almost accurate. And last one is Basilisk. Petrified enemies have increased chance to critically struck. Yeah. Okay, we wanted to look at Warlock because we didn't see that many Warlock. Oh, I don't think he showed more Warlock unique. No. I'm so saddened. See if there's interesting... I don't think there's interesting set charms. The same wash here, Hellfire skills, and so on. It doesn't have like the cool set bonuses, right? How you answer questions, help the community. I mean, that's what the stream is there for, sir. The stream is not there to profilate my ego. We're here to answer actual questions and have actual fun together and try to learn something about Diablo, right? And then make more fun content. I mean, I personally am very, very, very much looking forward to the next weeks because I will certainly not run out of content to make, right? I will certainly have content to make at every single corner. And that has me very excited. Can you craft any unique into a charm? Yes, you can craft any unique into a charm. However, there is a limitation. So it seems like that you can only have X charms, X unique charms. So you have these, here, let me see if we have them visible. You have the charms and then you have the seals, okay? So this says unlock 6 charm slots. This one says unlocks 5 charm slots. You can only equip 1 unique charm, okay? 1 single unique charm is equipable unless your seal would say different. Okay? So if you now then equip a seal here that says you can equip 2 unique charms, possible. It's super interesting, though. I mean, like, there had to be some drawback. Well, it's not really a drawback. I mean, being able to equip 1 unique charm is insane. Right? Like, already look at the Necromancer, okay? So, wait, we gotta throw an eye on the Necromancer. So, with the Necro, and if we look at the Necro uniques, you have these unique gloves that were for skeletal warriors. So, we have the Gravewalker hands, right? No, not the Gravewalkers. We had the... I mean, you have the crown, obviously, the undercrown for more warriors and for mages. Then you have the Hand of Nas, and then you have the Death Grip. So Death Grip would give us 6 more warriors. But if we have Death Grip, and then we would also play the Necromancer gloves, the second ones, the Hand of Nas, that doesn't work, right? I cannot play the Hand of Nas together with the Death Grip, unless I would turn the Death Grip or the Hand of Nas into a unique charm, and then I can play both. Yeah. For me personally, that sounds plenty juicy. I mean, just think about it, right? What we will be able to all do with that. I mean, every single unique is getting potentially very interesting. What do we have? Druid. It's only half the screen because you're in the stream that has a vertical in front of it. So you pretty much willingly joined the stream that has only half the screen. Okay, Spiritborn also has its passives. So we have this one. The key passives are the uniques. Ring of Writhing, that's still the same. Scorn of the Earth is still the same. That's Soar. Hasha Kusanagi can be invoked, is still the same too. Bushnakpa is casting ultimate skill. I think it's still the same too. Harmony of Abawaka is also the same, so nothing actually changed here. That's kind of interesting. You're gonna be tab busy. I will be very busy, but it's the good kind of busy. So I'm not mad about the deluge of content coming my way. I'll be just plastering you with videos left, right, and center, right? I mean, obviously, it's going to be important to shine a light on all the new Torment tiers, how the Torment tiers work. How do you go from Torment 1 to 12, the most efficient? Which roadblocks do you have to go through? Where's the best new farm, right? How do you level the most optimal way? What activities should you do first, not? Which skill trees are good for your war plans? War plans, how do you do them effective? How do you get the most XP fast so you can actually get the skill trees unlocked? You know, the content is just writing itself in my head. I don't have to, like, think about it. It's just going to spew forward. Obviously, if I had access to this, I could have given you the content on release, right? All like straight up down your throat. But I'm not too worried that someone else will make a video about it because I'll just make a better video on it. You know, you're going to be so cocky as a creator to reach the point where you're going to say, I don't care if someone makes a video on a topic. I'll make a better video, right? I'll make a better video that people will want to watch. Done. With the harmony, Subasontac, your basic skills increase. This, like, it's crazy that nothing has changed for the Spiritborn. Widow's Web, your critical strikes cause your poisoning on enemies to burst. That's your key passive. Yep. Path of the Emissary, every 5 meters you move, invoke base core skill. Also the same. Yasin Shell, the same. Balazan's Max Ladle, same. Rod of Kapalaka, same. Yeah, they all didn't change. We pretty much get like new. Huh. Thank you, FFW and Big Bead. Appreciate it. These are all similar. I'm a bit sad for Spiritborn, right? All the other classes see like changes, and the Spiritborn is like, well, get fucked, nerd. I mean, sure, the actual passive tree is going to be changing somewhat, right? So the passive tree will be somewhat different. But if the uniques are the same, you're, in the end, reaching the similar builds, right? But how much can it be different? Yeah. What can I say? Build variety wise, we'll definitely see more builds. However, it will still crystallize out to be a few very strong builds, as always. I do hope that the balancing between builds is good enough to allow us for multiple builds to Torment 12. Right? That is very important. This all looks pretty. We're going to see some crazy items because of the Horadric Cube. Oh, you can do crazy stuff with the Horadric Cube. The problem with uniques is that uniques are random, for example. So, like the Protean Heart, as you can see here, can have a lightning damage multiplier. So you will have to keep finding Protean Hearts. And these Protean Hearts will have to have the 30% maxed out. And then you want to have the right multipliers. You do have a Horadric recipe that says combine 3 uniques into a new unique. So here we have this one. Right? That allows us to transmute 3 of the same unique equipment items or charms into a new version of that unique. So we can keep re-rolling. But it will still make it hard. Because, I mean, for the love of God, you have to roll quite a lot. I mean, this one has physical damage multiplier. That would obviously be nice. That one has healing received. Terrible. We got here cooldown reduction, critical strike damage multiplier, and it can go up to 50%. Oh boy. That's insane. So you can get an insane amount of damage from these. I mean, that's like... Thing is, you're probably going to craft an item from the base up, right? So you can find a common item, then you add affixes, then you hope to add the right affixes, then you upgrade it to a legendary. Then when it's upgraded to a legendary, you're probably going to put the aspect on, right? So you can really, from the beginning, from the streets, you can make one item be exactly what you're looking for. You can also find a magic item, you can find a yellow item, and then just slowly craft it upwards. Not sure how much of that we will see, because obviously you also want to have an item with as many greater affixes as possible, and with 12 torment tiers, you should be getting more greater affix items than ever before. I'm hoping for storage changes. Stupid DEOC, Jesus Christ. In Diablo 2, we have different chests now for things. So let's not forget that Diablo 2 actually added new chest options. We haven't seen anything about those new chests in Diablo 4 yet. I was still hoping to this day that we might actually get some specific chest options, but I still doubt we'll actually see it. I saw something about corruption. Do you know how that works? Corruption what? Corruption is sanctify. So in case you missed it, there is Sanctify, again, or some kind of Sanctify, where you can add specific effects to, I don't have it right now here, but there's something like Sanctify, and there are specific items like the Enhanced Primordial Dust that exists in Legendary that can help you to not corrupt an item, and then you have a version of Sanctify where you can corrupt an item. So there's a way to add a bonus affix, a bonus legendary power whatsoever, random. And after doing that, the item stays modifiable, so it doesn't get corrupted. However, there are also versions of the same material that can corrupt, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's close the other stuff. Get this one here. Oh, we probably, now, if I play this song now, everything else will get demonetized, right? It's like, yay, it's great, Diablo, that you're starting with this. I'm 99% sure everything will get demonetized, right? If you pump that one now. So like Val Orbs, yes, the Sanctify from the Horadric Cube is going to be somewhat like Val Orbs. That is the assumption there. There is generally a lot coming with the Horadric Cube. Don't worry, we'll have a Horadric Cube video before it actually drops to kind of like wrap up everything together, right? And get you all of it. So I'm sorry for not, like, can we activate the subtitles chat so we can at least have the closed captions? We know what he's jamming out to. Let's hope they cook with a Season 13 reveal. We don't know if we're actually going to see Season 13. They might keep that secret. I mean, if we go for the Diablo 4 PDR announcement, right? The Diablo 4 PDR announcement. The Diablo 4 Upper Stream says... Share the final details of the upcoming launch and dive further into the new class, skill trees, talisman system, Horadric Cube, new endgame systems, and more. Now, the final details could mean season 13. The final details could mean whatever. We will definitely get a season 13, Mike. We also got with the last DLC a season 6. So there will be a season 13. This is unquestionable true. There's no chance that we won't get it. The question is just how big is season 13 going to be, right? Is it going to be a large one? Is it going to be a small one? What do we have? I mean, I'm looking definitely forward knowing about the talisman system of the Harada Cube. The new endgame systems, I don't really care that much about because they're going to be as good as they are. You know, like the thing is, knowing more about the new endgame system is not going to make me enjoy them more, right? I need to play the new endgame system, but knowing more things about the talisman system and the Harada Cube is actually going to be good. I'm excited for that.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Lord of Hatred developer update stream. We've got a jam-packed show for you today, but the first thing you saw is a limited series collaboration between Jackson Guitars and Diablo. Jackson Guitars created a guitar to celebrate the launch of the Lord of Hatred expansion, and we've got one in the studio.
Their microphone quality is terrible.
This thing is absolutely badass, and that song you heard performed just now, it's called Celestia. It was written by senior composer Ted Reedy and performed by Cole Rowland. And if anyone can recognize where that video was shot, it's actually our original broadcasting room, so a fun little trivia for you. But yeah, this thing is magnificent. And that song, Celestia, is actually from our unreleased Lord of Hatred soundtrack, which you can pre-save on streaming platforms now. We have a jam-packed show for you today, but first things first, we have a Twitch Drops reminder. So you can watch for 30 minutes and get the Decaying Corona staff. And you can watch for 1 hour to get the Double Trouble Sword cosmetic on any eligible channel in the Diablo 4 category on Twitch. We've got an FAQ for you on the DevStream Announce blog, so you can go and check that out.
Early access?
That runs
no,
until 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Is the drop, but we'll know more about
so you got
the
about
time.
an hour to get those Twitch drops. We did release the intro cinematic for the Lord of Hatred expansion. You know us, we're Blizzard, we love our cinematics, and this one does not disappoint. It really tees off the expansion and sets the tone for how this next chapter is going to go in Lord of Hatred. I do want to give a spoiler warning. There are some light spoilers in the cinematic, so steer clear if you want an unblemished experience, but I gotta say that cinematic is gonna give me some nightmares in the best kind of way, so go and enjoy. We've got a jam-packed stream for you today. There's everything you might want to know about the Lord of Hatred expansion that we're gonna get into. So we got a pretty lengthy video ready. I hope you get comfortable, get your snacks, get a drink, and enjoy.
No, the DLC is season 13.
Diablo developer update. With Lord of Hatred nearly upon us, we're here today to share a slate of exciting new updates. Before we dive in, we want to take a moment to thank our community for every piece of feedback, every post, every guide and critique
Releases
video,
in 5 days.
every moment you've spent with us in Sanctuary. We wouldn't be here without you. Lord of Hatred was made for this community. Now, join us as we dive into the story, classes, core progression, and the key systems. Let's jump right in. Lord of Hatred continues after the events in Nahantu. As we see with Neyrelle, no mortal
Is this
was meant
sound
to
loud
carry
enough?
the burden of a prime
good, right?
evil, and doing so leaves permanent scars. Neyrelle's journey transformed her, from her beginnings as a seeker of knowledge to bearing the Soul Stone, and now to this final confrontation with Mephisto. Neyrelle grew from someone who admired the Haradrim to one who embodied their ideals. Neyrelle's tireless research has borne fruit, and she takes action with the decisive, selfless conviction that defines any true Haradrim. Now, there's a question that generations of Haradrim have been pondering throughout their history. What is the point of killing a primeval if they always come back a generation later, after the last Haradrim have grown old, and there are none ready and able to take a stand against them? That dilemma, the cycle of the eternal conflict, sits at the heart of Neyrelle's research and pushes the story into its next phase. Knowing her time was running short, Neyrelle sent warnings to the few people she trusts, including Lorath Nar. As we march towards the reckoning, one thing becomes clear. Mephisto's plan is simple and terrifying. With the body of Akarat as a puppet, Mephisto has positioned himself and his pawns to be in the right place at the right time, and with the whole world watching. This sets the stage for our journey to the Scovos Isles, and our confrontation with Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred. And it's only the beginning.
It's very promising.
With Lord of Hatred, 2 new classes join the fight. the Paladin, and the Warlock. They're designed to be instantly recognizable in both fantasy and moment-to-moment gameplay. New tools,
And yes,
new
we'll play
strengths,
Warlock Chat.
and new ways
Warlock.
to approach every activity
And
across Sanctuary.
Necro.
Both classes have been built with today's meta in mind, bringing fresh answers to familiar challenges, new build paths to explore, and new roles to master across every system Diablo 4 has to offer.
The Talisman system is about giving you another way to express a build, giving you more room to specialize, items to hunt for, and more reasons to keep experimenting as you climb into the endgame. You'll see talismans built from a few key parts: your seal, your charms, and the combinations you create between them. The intent
Difference
is simple:
between
make the
Necro,
choices
Warlock,
readable,
Demons, and Undead.
make the results feel immediately different in combat.
That's it.
You'll find both seals and charms naturally as you play, across a range of rarities. Seals are the foundation. They unlock additional charm slots, roll bonus affixes, and in some cases they can even change the rules for what charms you're allowed to equip.
Yeah, reduce the number of
At
charms,
the top end,
right?
unique and set charms are the most powerful. These are the drops that you'll be chasing deep into the endgame. Unique charms pull signature powers from the unique items you know today, so that you can harness that effect without being locked into a specific gear slot.
I love that one.
Set charms work a little differently. As you collect and equip more pieces from the same set, you'll unlock increasingly powerful set bonuses. Before Torment, set bonuses are more general, class agnostic, easy to understand, and meant to give you a serious boost while you're leveling. In Torment, sets become class specific, harder to find, and built to deliver a bold fantasy, unlocking new archetypes and defining playstyles.
The cube is going to be the
Cube
biggest
is a
game changer.
legendary artifact for end game crafting. Combine rare materials, transmute them into something greater, and unlock powerful bonuses to fine-tune your build. More than a tool, it opens new ways to upgrade gear, experiment with options, and push towards true endgame power. Horadric Cube crafting is deliberate and impactful. You can take an item, add affixes through transmutation, and then upgrade it through the rarity tiers, up to legendary. Want to turn a great drop into a best in slot? Transfiguration is the way to ultimately finish
Let's
an item,
sanctify.
layering on a range of powerful effects with a chance you'll be able to transfigure the same piece multiple times. You'll also choose how you transfigure. Standard transfiguration is chaotic. The potential for reward is high, but there is some risk. There's even a low chance that you'll be able to transfigure the same piece multiple times. Applying an entropic tuning prism makes your crafting outcome more stable. This will reduce the reward ceiling, but it always delivers a clean upgrade. Perfect for items that are already incredible. For amulets, we have something special. The cube has an amulet-only transfiguration that can grant you a bonus legendary power. And you can re-roll it as long as you have a rare material to pay the cost. We love the variety and craziness of adding an extra legendary power onto high-end gear.
But you can
Legendaries,
re-roll.
uniques, and even mythic
Get it,
items.
right?
So we've distilled that fantasy into a dedicated recipe you can use specifically on your amulet. Sometimes the best way forward is sacrifice. You'll now be able to break down an ancestral unique to create a unique charm.
That's the best one.
The latest skill tree updates are here to give you clearer, meaningful choices as you build, so that experimenting feels rewarding and the path from idea
Oh, you can make
to
fire
fully
orbs?
realized
That's
build
cool.
is easier to plan and more fun to iterate on. Itemization is the other half of the equation. With these system-wide updates, your item choices can meaningfully amplify a build.
This is
And
all
they're
old news,
designed
by
to
the
work in
way.
concert
We
with
all know
everything
this
else.
already. If you
Changes to
watched
legendary
videos,
aspects, uniques, skill tree options, class mechanics, and more all support one goal, giving you the freedom to play your way. Let's look at a few examples. What is better than kicking your enemies away? How about kicking yourself to your enemies? Kick's Madness variant lets you fly around the battlefield by turning Kick into a mobility skill. Barbarians now have a variety of ancient skill variants that summon a temporary ancient to mimic your attack. Leap into combat with 3 ancients,
Leap
then
summons?
finish them off with a trio of ruptures. Druids can now choose their skills' shapeshift forms, and each form comes
See,
with
it's
powerful
human,
bonuses.
wolf, or
Human
bear.
form grants more resources. Werewolf form grants more offensive power, while werebear form improves your survivability. Trample's variant leaves sundered rock along your path and a large burst at your target. Trample can now be used as a werewolf. Rather than charging along the ground, you quickly leap to your target.
That's great, isn't
Druids can now unleash the Fury of the Wilds. This unique ring causes your shape-shifting skills to grant berserking and ferocity, bringing these powerful
it? I think this is
mechanics
still
from the
new for a
barbarian
lot,
and
my
spirit
game,
form to
as
the druid.
not everyone lives online.
You can take it a step further by synergizing Fury of the Wilds with the additional strikes upgrade for Lightning Storm.
This is so good. I
increasing the
can't wait
number
for
of
that.
Lightning strikes for each ferocity you have. Necromancers can now customize and upgrade their minions via the skill tree. Skeleton mages are now a core skill, costing essence to initially raise, but lasting indefinitely.
Yeah.
Use the Singularity variant to instead focus all of your essence into a single, powerful but short-lived mage. Skeleton warriors are passively raised from nearby corpses, and activating their ability commands them to instantly attack a targeted enemy.
Finally.
Book of the Dead now also enhances your minions with the powers of Bone, Blood, or Darkness, allowing them to interact with a wider variety of legendary and unique effects, such as Aspect of the Void.
The little things, chat. The little
The
things.
Chthon's Righteous Will Talisman set bonus. Your enemies will cower before you, immediately being feared for a short time when they see you. You also reflect stun and knockback effects at those foolish enough to try to control you. Paladins can unlock ultimate power with the Light's Epiphany Talisman set. Using the Arbiter of Light unleashes Heaven's Fury and Fortress and allows you to cast Zenith for a
That's a
short
cool set
time.
bonus.
Dance of Knives is now a core skill, costing energy per second to channel. If you aren't a fan of knives and want something with a bit more bang, try the Grenade Jumper variant to throw a constant stream of explosive grenades instead. Rogues also have new ways to manipulate the shadows. The Penetrating Shot variant Shadow Shot spawns shades to mimic your attack, and Shadow Clone's Sentry variant places stationary shadow clones to constantly fire upon your enemies.
That's cool. It's actually really cool.
As the masters of fire, cold, and lightning, the sorceress weaves these elements together in their new skill variants. Charged Bolt's Burn Through variant causes the bolts to release globs of fire on impact rather than piercing through enemies. This variant excels in up-close and personal combat against
That looks very
many tightly
intriguing.
packed enemies. Familiar is the only skill in the game with 4 variants. The first 3 allow you to choose which element your familiar will always be, and
The other one is
gain
random.
benefits. If you want all 3 elements, the Prismatic Familiar option is for you, causing each of your spellcasts to trigger an explosion of the matching element from your familiar.
Looking mighty
Crackling
good.
Earth converts Concussive Stomp to an Eagle skill, removing the gorilla-themed crowd control effect and instead dealing lightning damage and creating storm feathers for each enemy hit. This synergizes extremely well
That's
with
so
Aspect
stupid.
of Falling Feathers to absolutely shred a group of enemies. With its new variant, the Protector guards the infected forest. The Centipede Spirit assists by poisoning the area around the Protector, weakening enemies, and constantly spewing pestilent swarms.
Well, we know
The
most about the Warlock,
arrives
so
as
surprise
a
me
brand
now.
new class in Lord of Hatred. This master of the occult binds demons to their will and unleashes devastating hellfire across the battlefield. The Warlock has a dual resource system. Your basic skills, like Doom, generate Wrath. Your core skills, like Hell Fracture, spend Wrath to unleash a powerful attack. Dominance is much slower to regenerate and is used for your greater demon summoning abilities, like Infernal Breath that spews fire at nearby enemies. To unleash ultimate destruction, channel the Armageddon ritual variant of Apocalypse, calling down a relentless storm of fire and brimstone on the battlefield.
Looking good there. Warplan,
Endgame in
surprise
Diablo
me.
4 should feel continuous. No stopping, no waiting, no friction between what you want to do and how you want to do it. The fight to defend Sanctuary continues in our new endgame system, War Plans. Choose your favorite activities, chain them together, and then customize the hell out of them. You start at the command table in Themis, the capital city of Skovos. You pick your activities with almost everything on the menu. As you make progress, your command table levels up, opening up a wider range of options, including higher node rarities and deeper chains, with up to 5 activities in a single war plan. War plans also grant the ability to teleport directly to the next activity in your playlist, and eventually back to Themis to claim your rewards and create a new one. And if you don't have a Nightmare Sigil or a compass, not a problem. War plans can generate one on the fly if you don't have your own. War plans is all about giving you more choice. Want to burn through a stack of sigils? Do it. Want to hard focus on one lair boss for your session? Go for it. War plans does more than enhance your endgame, it connects it. Completing war plans will also feed into activity trees. Each activity has its own tree that you can invest in.
I fear that they're going to
customize
level
how
up
it
too
plays.
slow.
You earn 7 points per activity, so this is where you'll have to make real decisions. Let's look at the lair boss tree.
Like,
because
way
it's
too
a great
slow?
example of how deep this can go. You can tune your rewards with nodes like Lair of Runes for more rune drops, Lair of Plenty for an extra horde chest, Golden Horde to convert low-tier items into gold, or Exotic Armory if you're looking to gear an alt. Then there's cross-pollination, pulling lair bosses into other activities to remix your runs. Grigwar's Gambit can spawn him from Helltide chests. Embers of Anguish brings Andariel into the pit.
From Helltide chest
Out
is
of
kind
the
of
Cold
great.
allows the Beast in Ice to join every Nightmare Dungeon boss fight.
Yeah, you have 7 points,
The
so you
pit
have to
tree
really
gives you
choose
a
what you want to do.
completely different kind of
You
control.
can't get every
You
node.
can dial up risk and reward with Choron's Haste, Heart of Stone, the Pit Butcher, or modifiers like Damned Thieves. Or you can pivot the rewards entirely, converting glyph upgrades with nodes like Choron's Soul and Choron's Flesh. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There are 100 different modifiers spread across the activities in the game. With war plans, you get to define your own endgame.
It will obviously be the best choice, right?
Fishing is designed
Unquestionable.
as a laid-back collection activity, a chance to slow down and unwind between battles. You'll unlock it early after arriving in Skovos. A short questline will introduce you to the basics, and it'll teach you more about the wide variety of fish with different rarities and multiple modifiers to chase. Fishing is more fun with friends. You can trade any fish you find, no matter how weird, bloody, or celestial they might be.
I don't
help
want
your
to
fellow
fish.
wanderers finish their collections.
Warplanes don't
As for
properly
where you
work
can
while playing with
fish,
others, but
almost
that's
anywhere
already
there are
confirmed from
fish,
reviewers,
and
unless
maybe
they
even
fix
a
it
few places
to its
that might
release.
surprise you. So take a deep breath, enjoy the calm you've earned, and appreciate a quieter moment in Sanctuary. But who knows what else lurks beneath the wine dark sea? When Lord of Hatred is released, we'll also be making major updates across both seasonal and eternal realms. Permanent updates across realms will include the major skill tree improvements we've discussed, alongside a level cap increase to 70, extending torment tiers, a loot filter, map overlay, pathfinding, plus a pit overhaul and itemization updates.
A pit
For players
overhaul?
on the seasonal realm, there will be character resets, a refresh to season rank challenges with new rewards, and updates to the tower and leaderboard beta, all falling within the Season of Reckoning.
Uh-huh.
This season brings 2 additional season ranks, unlocking over 100 season rank challenges for those who keep climbing through Sanctuary's
Damn,
trials.
son.
Push past your limits, conquer fresh objectives, and claim rewards worthy of your growing legend.
Okay, Season 13, Season of Reckoning, chat.
With this update, we're here to make more affixes matter and make item choices contribute meaningfully to your overall power. Common, magic, and rare items contain meaningful value in endgame because they can serve as crafting bases. You can later add affixes to them and upgrade their rarity using the Heraldric Cube. They will continue to drop in Torment difficulties, including as ancestral items, and they can also roll with greater affixes. With this update, auto-salvaging of lower rarity items in Torment has been disabled. Something we're excited about is damage multipliers on gear.
Yeah.
Gone are the days of tossing out items with additive damage. Damage multipliers stack additively with themselves, but are multiplicative, vastly leveling up the item game and depth when it comes to the perfect item. For uniques, we're opening things up by reducing the number of always fixed affixes and rolling more from the available pool, giving you room to chase truly optimized combinations for your build. Tempered affixes went through an overhaul. Unique and mythic items can now be tempered.
Oh,
200 legendary aspects have been refreshed with design updates. Gems are getting a major upgrade. Weapon gem effects are significantly stronger, and we're including new gem tiers. We've heard your feedback on stackable items, and we've increased the stacking size to 1,000 to help with inventory management.
cool.
On the quality of life side, one of the biggest additions is the loot filter. This is a power user feature the community has been asking for
Yeah,
a long
I mean, like
time.
the uniques and mythics
You
being
can
able to
export
temper is
and
quite
import
crazy.
filters, hide item text, hide ground effects.
It allows
hide
just
both,
for more
or
like
recolor text to make the
that's
drops
being
that matter
excluded,
instantly
right?
stand out. Hunting for the perfect 4 out of 4 base, you can call out the affixes you care about and set a minimum number required. So those upgrade-ready items pop while the noise fades away. Loot filters will also support newly introduced systems such as the Talisman. The map overlay is here, and it completely changes how combat and moment-to-moment flow feels in
I
Diablo
don't
4.
actually like map
When the
overlay.
overlay
I'm
is
sorry.
up, the minimap gets out of the way to broaden your view of the game space, and you've got quick controls to tune it on the fly. Keybinds for opacity, keybinds for zoom, and
I
options
know a lot of
to
people
adjust
like
the
it, so-
coloration of the overlay to match your preference. For those looking to continue with a smooth flow, you can enable pathfinding, which draws your route through Sanctuary directly to your destination. You'll no longer need to stare at your minimap to make sure you're headed the right way. The level
I'm not
cap
going to
has
say that I need
increased,
that, but I need that
expanding
because
the
I'm
ceiling
terrible.
for long-term progression. Torment tiers are being refined as well to support a consistent feel as you progress further. And to
Generation,
match,
the PoE update
rewards
is at
track
the end of
better
May.
with the risk you're taking.
We've made important improvements to layer bosses, focused on clarity, choice, and cleaner loot chasing. Every layer boss now has its own dedicated pool of unique items.
Okay.
Layer bosses now share a single key, and all greater layer bosses share another, reducing friction and inventory space. Bartok and Astaroth are now in the layer boss system,
Ooh.
and the Butcher is now a greater layer boss in both Seasonal and Eternal Realms. Lord Zir is now only one click away on the world map.
Thank you. Tiny things, but appreciated.
We've made updates to runes to reduce friction and make progression smoother. The result is a more streamlined system and an indirect buff to farming the specific runes you care about. The rune pool has been updated and we've removed underutilized runes.
Thank you.
All remaining runes now fit cleanly into the Socketable's inventory. Runes have also been heavily integrated into our Heraldric Cube crafting system.
Pit improvements are here, along with tuning and quality of life updates to make each run more exciting and more rewarding. Some of the improvements you've seen in the tower are coming to the pit, and we've also removed a few legacy systems along the way. The pit has grown, literally. Every run now spans 5 full floors, clearly marked by pit depth, so you always know how deep you've gone and how close you are to the finish.
Okay.
Floor generation has been rebuilt from the ground up for smoother flow, less frustrating dead ends, and a more consistent rhythm that keeps you moving forward. Nearly every environment in the game can now appear in the pit, pulling
cool.
from both expansions and past seasons. And there are rare floors where you'll stumble onto brand new layout mashups found nowhere else. To keep the focus on action, we've also removed death and resurrection penalties along with boss shadow attacks.
Huh.
Spawning in the pit has been tuned to feel fair, deadly, and exciting. Shrines now use a flat spawn chance, giving each run a more consistent baseline, while still allowing for the occasional lucky spike. Almost every variant of every monster family can now appear, including very rare and special populations. Progress now scales with real danger, meaning tougher enemies push the bar faster. And yes, treasure goblins can now invade the pit, alone or with all their friends, with bosses, goblins, and treasure chests all capable of dropping loot. Pit mastery objectives are now fully formalized, with the tracker clearly showing both party and personal progress. Boss encounters waste no time. Bosses now ambush your party by spawning directly on top of you, and without clearing existing enemies. On top of that, the pit will now pull from the tower boss roster, injecting even more variety and unpredictability into every run.
So no more boss arena. Huh.
Since we introduced the tower and leaderboards, it's been incredible to listen to your feedback, watch the competition evolve, and keep learning right alongside the community.
I'm not sure what to think about the pit
Now
yet.
we're bringing a focused set of updates, more reasons to climb, clearer ways to compete, and smoother moment-to-moment play. The Artificer's Stash is a new feature coming to the tower. This provides valuable caches that contain items with guaranteed greater affixes, along with currencies and even lore books. These treasures can only be earned by climbing the tower, and first-time completion of higher tower tiers awards the Artificer's favor. The new build viewer captures a snapshot of every build that ranks on the leaderboard. When you click a top player's leaderboard entry, the viewer displays that saved snapshot, making it easier for everyone
I like
to see
that.
which builds are performing
Everything
best
else
in tower
bullshit.
competition. New environments, monsters, and
When you have
bosses
30 days
are
for the new
arriving to
PoE
keep
stuff,
the tower
Cody.
experience fresh.
So play away.
In addition to starting a tower run when you exit the circle, your run will now automatically begin after a brief countdown. And hey, did you mess up the run? Did you just barely make it? Did the Orb Goblin run away? Is that the best you got? The Artificer himself will now offer some commentary. Please try your best. He is watching. Lastly, we're making tower competition timing better and fairer. Based on player feedback, leaderboards now start on Thursdays after a release or patch. This permits the time needed to address any major issues before the community-wide competitive aspect of the tower begins. That's a quick look at what's ahead with Lord of Hatred and Season of Reckoning. We'll have more details in our blogs, patch notes, and deep dives. So if something here caught your eye, you'll be able to dig in right away.
Honestly,
See you all in Sanctuary.
so far, good changes.
Welcome.
Whew. Okay, that is a lot to chew on. As Zovan mentioned at the end of that video, we will have our official blog launching after the stream, so you can go and check that out if there's extra details you want to chew on. But additionally, we will have Q&A towards the end of the stream, so if you have any questions
The Q&A is
that were
useless. I
answered
want
in
the
that
blog.
overview
Thank
video,
you.
feel free to drop them in chat. We'll grab those and answer those close to the end of the stream. But who better to get into everything with me than a very familiar cast of crew? We've got Colin, Zovan, and Art back on the stream. Welcome, fellas.
Hey.
Yeah, great to be back.
Great to have you guys here. So I know we did go through, everything coming with Lord of Hatred in that overview. We do also have Season of Reckoning launching at the same time as the expansion. And I know this is going to be a little bit different of a season because it is coming out in tandem with the expansion. What can players kind of expect to see for Season of Reckoning?
Juicy,
Yeah,
the
so
crit
kind of
does not work on these.
There's a huge slew of automation updates. Skill trees have been revamped for every single class. There's just a ton there. In addition to that, season rank has actually expanded. There's more of it. It's over 100 different objectives to conquer, and eventually Tower will be turning on, as we said. But yeah, this will be kind of a special season to keep focus on the expansion. And the idea is future seasons will return more to the regular stuff that we're used to.
And you'll still be able to play the campaign and all that good stuff, both in Seasons and Eternal,
Yeah.
whatever tickles your fancy.
And I love too for Season of Reckoning because so much of it relies on seasonal rank. There's so much that you get to passively do just as you're playing the game, right? So it's not
Yeah,
as though you have to.
absolutely,
It silos you to a totally different content piece. You get to chip away on it just as you're playing through the expansion and everything else. So
Yeah. There's
super
also,
fun.
also a lot of goodies packed in there.
A ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of rewards spread throughout.
yeah, gotta love some rewards. But of course, I do really want to know from you guys, with the expansion coming out soon, with so much launching, what are you all most excited for players to get their hands-on for the Lord of Hatred expansion?
Yeah, I would say something that exists in the game. I would say probably the skill trees. I think we've talked to death about it, but really it's hard to sort of understate or overstate. I should say how transformative it is to actually play with it. Like it's actually hard for us to play on live right now just because there's so many more builds. Art mentioned in the video that we touched like over 200 aspects. We've also added just a ridiculous amount of uniques to the game. We've ensured that like literally every skill in the game has a unique that can talk to it and interface with it. And it all works with the variants and the sort of upgrades in the skill tree. And I just can't wait to see kind of all the crazy things that players cook up. Like a huge goal was to like blow
I think,
out the
Akeo,
number of builds
many
in the game.
good
Like if you
things.
love build crafting, or if you
We're gonna
love
go over the blog
making your
post at the
own
end,
sort of
so
zero to
TLDR
hero
will
journey
come.
with tons of weird odds and ends in your build, like this is the expansion for you, and I just can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, across the video and even in the blog that's going to recap a lot of what we talk about here, there's only so much we can do to kind of describe how all these changes are going to be. You really are just going to have to jump in game and experience it for yourself, because all of us play Diablo so differently. And I think I saw in chat as that came up, Skydragon said, "Inject that into my veins." So I think that kind of puts it pretty well.
Yeah.
So pretty pumped about those changes. But yeah, that's awesome. How about you, Zavin?
War plans, hands down. I'm so excited. We've never really had something like this to just so deeply modify all of our end game activities. It really is, when we say like you get to make your own end game, we really mean it. We have 100 nodes
Just
across
give us
all the
the
activities
war
in the game.
plan XP
Some of them actually
very
cross-pollinate,
quick.
so you can put
Or it's
make
gonna be
choices in one
terrible.
tree that modify another one. So there's just a bunch of variety for players to kind of chew on, sink their teeth into. I can't wait. It's such a different way to think about what you do in your moment to moment in the end game. And there hasn't been anything like it since. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think much like the skill tree, it's fun to tinker and craft all these things, and then it's even more fun to send it out into the wild to see what crazy combinations people come up with.
Yeah, and then it's especially in tandem with all the skill tree stuff we're doing, right? You get to change kind of how you do the end game and also what your end game is. You get to control kind of both halves of this now.
That's rad. That's rad. How about you, Art?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what kind of builds people cook up that we've never even thought of, right? So, for me, I mean, definitely excited to have people try all the new systems. Skill tree. There's a talisman. There's the cube. We've kind of redone
Do you
everything.
get a notification?
Updated
You
everything.
can check your
But
drop
really, what
window
excites me
aviator.
most is just kind
It's
of
in the top
players
right corner,
experiencing
drops.
all of this
You can check it
together,
there.
like holistically in concert for the full, like for a brand new Diablo experience.
Dude, I don't know if we need more storage space with 1,000 stacking of resources and a reduction of general other stuff. We'll have to see. Starter class is going to be Warlock.
About you own the expansion,
10
so
out
if
of
you're
10.
just coming back to play Diablo over the weekend, and you just want to get it back into it for a little bit, so much of the game does feel different. And if you're playing on Eternal, if you're not playing in the expansion, so much has changed for anyone who plays Diablo. So like you said, all players get to experience it at the same time, so it's a lot of really cool changes.
Yeah, I actually saw a comment where I was watching the Warlock video, and they're like, oh, whoever like designed and worked on the Warlock and Paladin, like the team that did that should do that to the rest of the classes. And it's like, well, you're in luck, because absolutely the same team has killed it and updated every single class, so you don't even need the Warlock or Paladin to experience sort of this new, I would say, generation of class, which is super cool.
That's unreal. That's awesome. Excellent. Okay, so I know we've got some questions that we've gathered in Twitch chat. We're actually going to kick it over to Q&A now and answer some of your questions that you've been dropping in. So first things first, we've got a question here.
I want the block.
We've seen a lot of reactions and feedback on inventory.
No.
Can you guys speak a little bit on some of the things we've seen?
Yeah, so I think some of this has been reaction to some of the reviews and stuff that have been coming out. And for what it's worth, anyone who knows Marak, our favorite dancing Fallen, he was kind of available in those things, and so we had a lot of people loading up on stuff. Generally speaking, we've made
Getting
a
rid of
lot
useless
of
runes.
changes.
I mean, getting rid of
to
useless
the
runes will
game,
also
which
make
actually
that you
I'll
get
let
the
these
good
guys
runes
kinda, chip in and give
more
some answers
likely.
to. But starting with,
Right?
we actually have, if you buy Lord of Hatred, you get a stash
French,
cap.
we don't know
So inventory
if we
pressure
still have
is
the aspect.
something we've been thinking about how to relieve, and that's one way to do it. But there's a bunch of other stuff we want to do.
There's no information yet.
If there's something you want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say like one of the changes that we made was essentially to reduce and remove incense and elixirs, because it felt like it was one of those like really annoying uptime games that just wasn't super fun in the end game. To compensate, something we saw people use these for is the XP boost. So we've actually like massively increased the amount of XP you get from monster kills while leveling up, which actually translates much more into the
We don't have
difficulty tiers as well,
elixirs
because a
and
lot of the difficulty
instances
tier
anymore?
XP comes from monster kills. So we've massively increased the amount of XP for monster kills. You don't have to go and do quests now to necessarily get to max level quickly, which is awesome. Art, I know we've also done a ton of stuff on the lair bosses.
Yeah, definitely. I think across all kind of inventory tabs, lowering inventory pressure was really, really important. So you saw in the video, like everything that's stackable stacks to 1,000 now. We've removed runes so they all fit in your inventory. We've consolidated a bunch of other things like layer boss keys. Something else that we've done with the Haraja Cube is just give an outflow for a lot of items that you may pick up that are like, once you get into the end game, oh, it's not really worth my time using blue and yellow tributes. I'm like, okay, cool, you can take those, you can combine those up into higher rarity tributes, and we've done this across a bunch of things, so it should be generally much easier.
There you
to
go, tributes
keep
into
everything
higher
in your
rarity
bags and not have
tributes.
it overflow into your stash.
Yeah, and to re-clarify, the infamous screenshot
actually
that you've all
huge.
been looking at with like several thousand stacks. It's Marak and
PTR
like,
booster.
you know, PTR boost. You know, you could go do that today and take a screenshot and it'd look terrible. But that's what it was.
Thanks for clarifying that, Colin. That's great. I've got a question from Galbatorix_90. My question to the devs, really excited about everything coming with Season of Reckoning and the Lord of Hatred expansion. Could you share how the team is approaching the evolution of endgame systems to create a cohesive gameplay loop that keeps players engaged across both seasonal and the expansion's long-term progression?
I think I can take a stab, and we can probably all
Yeah,
take
yeah,
a stab.
yeah.
But we'll try and keep it short because we could probably talk about that for like an hour. Of
course.
You know, I think like really, Lord of Hatred is the ultimate, I would say, build crafting and power fantasy. It starts with the skill tree. We've updated a ton of the foundations of all the classes. We've even updated a bunch of keywords and mechanics. You'll get to experience that when you play the game, and we're very excited about that. So we've updated the foundation. We've reworked a lot of the itemization and updated it and upgraded it. So like if there's things you like about it today, we've massively improved it. And then, you know, the power fantasy side, what is a better power fantasy than being able to influence the world around you beyond just your character? And that's what War Plans represents. That's what the meta progression trees represents. So, you know, it's really about giving you a lot of control and giving you a lot of things to tinker with. Our hope is that you only see like a fraction of this every
Slapgang,
season
if
that
you
play.
like Diablo, this
I would
is a
be
10 out of
shocked if
10.
you're able to play every single
So
class,
far.
every single build, every single war
If you don't
plan
like Diablo,
permutation.
you don't care.
But
But you didn't care before
I'll toss it
anyways,
over to
right?
these guys.
Yeah, I'll throw out there that you know, one of the things that helps kind of the end game feel really good is making sure there isn't a bunch of bloat. And you know, the game's in its, you know, has a couple years on it right now. Just making sure that we go through and are diligent about like, hey, is that serving a purpose in the game still? Does it need to be there? How important is it really? There's things like elixirs and incense. How important are they really? They're just like a tax on your time to go make sure you have upkeep and things like that. But also
Stat
down to
boosts
the
of the
layer boss.
instances and elixirs are
Right, so do
gone
you
then now,
actually
as
need
it
that
seems,
many?
Mike,
Does the
but I
game
don't
need
think that
many?
we
So
were required
anytime we
anymore.
can go through the game and find these places where it's like actually removing something, streamlining something helps make everything better. Right? It uplifts everything else because now you don't have to waste your time thinking about these other concepts. So that helps everything be more connective, right? Because they're not having to kind of connect to a dead part of the game that doesn't really matter. Like elixirs, again, is a really good example of what was it really doing for you other than an XP boost? Okay, fine, here. Monsters just give you better XP, now you don't have to do elixirs, right?
Yeah, I like that. It's like eliminating all the chores. And I think, you know, one of the great ways that's
Well, it's thing to worry, but exactly, I anyways forgot
is how,
elixirs,
like, if you don't have a
so I
key
got
for a
punished for
particular
being
activity that you're getting
forgetting.
into, it just makes one
And that
for you.
sucks.
It's not like, oh, you don't have to go into the world to get a, you know, a layer boss key that you need. The game is just like, no, you got it. You're good. You can just
and then
move along.
also, if you find a key you do like and you want to run, you can just run that instead.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah, absolutely.
The one thing I'll add, and I'll try to keep it brief, is that like one of our goals was that we really want the game to feel like it's broadening and expanding as you progress, and we've done that with the skill tree, with itemization, with war plans, with the cube, and really I think kind of speaking back to Colin's comment about there's so many different things and so many permutations that you like realistically won't be able to see them in one season. I think that kind of helps that feeling of the end game being fresh season over season.
Yeah, I'll add one more thing to that too, and you'll see some of the seasonal mechanics that players have really loved and enjoyed baked into war plans. So you know, this is something as a system we hope to sort of improve and expand over time as we do new seasons. We have this really cool.
Will a
system
hell type
where
be
we can
generated for
inject,
you? I'm
fan
not
favorites
entirely
back
sure
into
how
the
that works,
game,
Daniel,
you know,
if
we
there's
think
no
that
hell
it's gonna
tide.
make a better and more fun experience.
Right?
So we think it's going to give us a lot of tools and the players a lot of fun things to fuck
If you're
around
going to be
with.
put
So,
on
yeah.
hold, then
That is true
we're
about
bid.
all the systems that we've been talking about.
Yes.
The cube, the talisman, all these things are primed for that kind of treatment in the future.
Yeah, that's rad because I feel like every season, whenever it wraps
Probably
up, we
play
always
the
say,
game
like,
24
hey,
hours at
will
start.
this
I'd
come
probably
back?
play
It's
like
oh, we might find it interesting.
8
we need to bring it
hours,
back. And
YouTube
this
video,
is a huge way where a
breakfast,
lot of those systems
next
are gonna
8
be coming
hours,
back in a really fun
YouTube video,
and cool way.
sleep,
Absolutely.
Hell
rinse
yeah.
and repeat.
Nice. I've got a question from Mippy, one of our Diablo partners. Zavin, I know you kind of mentioned this. Will the tower go live with the start of the expansion, or will the beta go live at a later time?
It is just a little bit later. So we want to, you know, we've heard hey, if we're going to be launching the competitive aspect, let's just give a little bit of time, just a little bit, to make sure things are good and it's a fair competition and things like that. So the details are on the blog. You can go check it out. But it's going to be starting
Blog's not there
kind of
yet.
not just in this case, but we're seeing this as the standard a few days after kind of the patch, right? Just to give ourselves some time to even things out, make sure there isn't any weird bug or anything like that, and then everyone can kind of jump in a fair way together.
Yeah, it's nice. Eliminate all the bugaboos right off the jump, and then
Yep.
then get right into it. Love it. Question from Farina at Diablo. How will war plans function in multiplayer? Will it evolve the war
They
plan for
don't.
the whole party or just for the party leader?
Pony's going to put
no,
up a
I can
war
take
mat.
this.
No.
So-
So I will rest properly. As much as I want to play as much as I can, right? But I will properly rest in between. There's no way I won't.
Baseline reward.
Because
So
I'll
if
get the
Zobbin and
content
I are
out
playing
regardless.
And we do a Nightmare Dungeon. Zobbin
Right.
has a Nightmare Dungeon node. I will get essentially a reward cache and reputation or meta progression, we should say, for the Nightmare Dungeon skill tree.
I'm an old
So
man.
it
You
ensures
know how
that
it is.
like when you're playing as a party, it's still efficient, even though the boards aren't always synced.
Nice. Sweet. Question from Fame, another Diablo partner. Does the fish collection reset every season, or is it an account one and done kind of thing?
So once you've collected a fish, you've collected a fish. But beyond that, you can fish for as long as you want. You can catch duplicates of stuff. You can it's not a one and done system. Like it's not like a quest, right, or a campaign thing where you just kind of do it once and you're done forever. You can keep catching fish, but the actual act of marking them collected, you have collected them once you've already found them.
Heck yeah, nice. Loathe Burger, another Diablo partner. Will the loot filter highlights reflect on the minimap?
So that's something that we're looking to sort of, it's not, I'll say that right now,
Okay.
it's not going to. We are looking to essentially gather a bunch of
terrible.
feedback on the loot filter. It came in hot. It's one of those things that we know players have been asking for, and we felt like, let's give this to the community. It's very much a tool driven by the community, so we want to hear what are the things that you want to improve in the loot filter. So please give us that sort of feedback. We know that's something that I personally want. I think we all want it, so that's just one of those things that we'll file away as like, we're going to improve the system.
Oh yeah, you heard it here first.
It's one of those things. It's like we are adding a map overlay.
We can fish now. There's
so
fishing.
there's a whole new way to kind of look at the world around you now, just because of that. And we really want your feedback on how this is going to be interacting with both those maps, right? Not just the mini map, but also the map overlay. So let us know how you guys like it.
Yeah, please drop us your feedback.
Only
I mean,
might we
across whole
have the
expansion, we are
Horadric
gonna be
Cube, so
absolutely
technically count levels
eagle-eyed on
possible.
forums, on socials, just checking everywhere from our partners. We're really, really eager for the feedback, and we're also
Map
excited
overlay,
to
yes,
just
the
get
map
this into
overlay is
everyone's
coming for the
hands.
people that like it. I
absolutely.
don't, but it's coming.
All right, Enigma 42K. With itemization and the skill trees being overhauled, how is masterworking going to change, and how is it going to affect the way they interact with skills compared to how they work now?
We just updated masterworking in season 11, so we're not really planning on making any updates soon.
Yeah, it still has quality. You'll still be able to get that through transfiguration, but we actually like how the system's working right now, so.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Nice. All right, our last question. I am the berm. I see the level cap now goes to 70. Does the Paragon cap rise as well?
No, we're keeping it the same. We think that that's something that we think is like a good sort of thing to chase towards the end of the season. Right now it's like super grindy from 20 to 300, which we like because it's kind of like, okay, you've gotten all the major nodes within your Paragon. Now if you just really want to sort of grind out those core stats, you're more than welcome to. I will say we've also increased the amount of XP multipliers from Torment. So, if previously 300
It
was like
should be
close
easier
to
now.
within reach, and you're like, I think I'm good. I'm not going to play for the rest of the season. The deeper you go into Torments, that'll make that faster. So probably more people are going to end up reaching that max level. So yeah.
Nice. I feel like we've all seen the dreaded calculation on the subreddit where people go
Yeah,
you
yeah,
hit
yeah.
297, you're only halfway there, man.
exactly. Yeah.
So I'm glad that there's that now, that XP boost to kind of push you to that extra. And there will be something fun we'll talk about towards the end of the stream, specific to Paragon that players should get excited about.
Yeah.
But that wraps up our Q&A actually. We're getting close towards the end of the stream. I do want to reiterate, for Q&A,
Great.
there is a ton of
Then tell
information in
us,
the blog.
Marcus.
You will notice the 3.0 patch notes are a bit lighter than usual, but that's because to list out all the skill tree changes would have been near impossible. So we've now just made that illustrative in the blog. So thank you. So yeah, I do just really want to make a note that I thank you guys for being here. I know it's an incredibly busy time. I am actually really excited to say as well that we are sim shipping this blog in all languages too. So that doesn't always happen, but everyone can chew on that time, on that information all at the same time. And I know we do have a few call outs closer to the end of the stream that we're going to get into. We have the
Paragon
Jackson
points don't do anything
collaboration.
for you.
We have another collaboration. It's a really important one. I'm kind of blanking on it right now, but I know we're going to kick it over to it soon. I really don't know. I
don't remember.
Sorry, I don't really have my notes up right now. But one sec, let me just kind of bump this around.
So if you have 200, 300 Paragon points, 400
We've
wouldn't do
actually
much
got
for us.
a very special video that we're going to kick it over to from one of our friends. Enjoy.
Can't wait to get
Family,
demonetized again.
Today is the day. We have something for you. We've heard from you guys for so long, desiring new music. Today's the day. We are so excited and pumped to announce to you our new song in collaboration with the iconic video game Diablo.
Corpse
The
Necro,
song,
no.
titled by
Like,
Jonathan
not how it looks
Davis
like.
himself, is called Reward the Scars. As huge fans of Diablo, man, this is just a massive honor. And, you know, Jonathan is an avid gamer, as most of you know. And his #1 game has been for years. He's the biggest fan of Diablo. So specifically for him, this is a huge thing, and but all of us as well. We also have a video coming out, a killer video, intense video. I mean, you guys are gonna trip on this thing. It's coming out April 27th, 10 a.m. Pacific time and 1 p.m.
Aren't they going to
Eastern.
detail Season of Reckoning? Matt,
And
we
so
have
look
the
out
blog
for
post
that,
coming with the information.
As well
I'm
as
refreshing consistently
April
to get it.
27th, Diablo 4, Lord of Hatred, releasing 4 p.m. Pacific time. You guys, we hope you love this, man. We
Wait,
hope you
4
love
p.m.
this
Pacific
as much
time?
as we do. And we're so excited for you to hear it. And so we will see you
That's
there.
1 a.m. for me. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you, Brian. You heard it here first. Lord of Hatred releases April 27th at 4 p.m. PDT, and Korn has put out their first single in 4 years. Reward the Scars.
It's 1 a.m.
is out
for me, but
today,
it's
and
fine.
That video
I can
releases on
sleep
Monday.
until
we showed it
midnight.
off to the team.
And wake up at
Brian
midnight?
wasn't lying. It's pretty badass.
The worst
you're definitely
things
gonna
in the
want to
world?
check that out when it releases, but we've been so pumped to partner with Korn, so that is absolutely fantastic. And we do have our release map that we can show you now to show the entire global release for
Yeah,
Lord
here.
of Hatred expansion.
This is me.
Istanbul, I hope you got your Turkish coffee ready because it's going to be an early morning for you. But there's that release map timing. We're going to be releasing this in the blog and on socials following the stream, so
I'm
you
fine
can
with
check
that.
out
We can work
when
around
Lord
it.
of
1
Hatred
a.m. is
goes live
better
for
than
you.
like 11 or 10,
Additionally,
right?
today, pre-download goes live at 4 p.m. PDT on Battle.net, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Oh, we get a
So you can pre-download
pre-download.
the 3.0.0 build, so when Lord of Hatred releases, you'll get into the expansion that much faster. And that begins rolling out at 4 p.m. PDT today. for
That's
pre-download.
really good.
So go and check that out.
That's really good.
I'm also very excited to announce, or not announce, we've already had this promotion live for a little bit, but we partnered with Trolley Gummies. Again, you can go to your local grocery store and get a bag of Mephisto branded Trolley Gummies, and you'll actually be able to get some weapon transmogs with your purchase, so you can go check those out. I have to say,
Okay.
ever since we partnered with Trolley for Vessel of Hatred, there has been a rotating trolley bag in my household. I absolutely love these things.
My children will enjoy
They
this
are sensational and
partnership.
delicious. And while you're at your grocery store, you can actually get a case of Diablo branded Fanta. We've got cases of Fanta Crimson Cherry with the Paladin on it, and with your purchase, you can also get an exclusive in-game reward. It is a town
Oh,
portal.
God, the poor
that is
resellers and
Fanta
scalpers
colored, which
buying
is
that
pretty
shit out of
phenomenal. So
everywhere.
you can go get your trolleys, get your Fanta, and have a great time. So enjoy that. Additionally, we've got some really exciting things going on in Overwatch. Overwatch is celebrating the launch of Lord of Hatred with 5 new skins and some other goodies in game. They've got sprays, avatar, name cards, you name it. That Ramatra Mephisto
That skin
skin
looks
looks
pretty good.
phenomenal. They're going to have Twitch drops as well to celebrate the launch of Lord of Hatred. And they're also bringing back the original Overwatch Diablo skins that are available in Overwatch. So you can get the Moira Lilith skin is coming back, the Reinhardt Imperius skin, and a whole lot more. So you can go and check that out in Overwatch.
They're really milking
Those
this
skins look absolutely phenomenal.
from every corner. But well
I
done.
alluded to this a little bit earlier, but with the launch of Lord of Hatred, we've got a really exciting community challenge that you can sink your teeth into. So starting with the launch of Lord of Hatred, the Hatred's Downfall Community Challenge is here. And with the help of the community, you can earn this Helm of Hatred for everyone in Diablo 4. The challenge is this. Globally, we need to earn 266,666,000 Paragon points. Now that's across Eternal, that's across Seasonal, and that's for expansion owners and expansion non-owners. So everyone who plays Diablo 4 can participate in this. Casual dads on the weekend, I see you. You just need to get to the end game and start earning those Paragon points to jump in. We will be updating our global total on Tuesdays on our social channels, and we'll also have an in-game message that will, check it out Monday and then update you on how the community progress is going. So let's all band together, earn those Paragon points, and earn that Helm of Hatred in-game, which looks super sick. Super, super sick. We are also going to have Twitch drops that are going live for the expansion, so you can go check those out in our blog. You can get the Skull Bloody Axe
we're going to have a support the creator
we've got
program.
an emblem as well, and we've got this gigantic Mount Trophy cosmetic that you can earn through both Twitch drops and support a streamer, so you can check out the details in the blog for those in the Diablo 4 category, so go and check those out. Additionally, as Lord of Hatred comes out, we're all really excited to see your reactions, so be sure to tag us on socials, whether you're a streamer or a fan, between the campaign, any sort of big reveal.
Streaming
we've all just been working on this for so long, and we're really, really excited to see how you experience the expansion. So please tag us. We're really curious to see your reactions and how you enjoy everything in the Lord of Hatred expansion. Now, before we close out the stream, I do want to kick it back over to the devs we have here today. Colin, Zav, and Art, is there anything you want to tell the players before they jump into Lord of Hatred?
I'll say thank you to everyone who's been kind of with us on this journey. This is we are very excited to kind of close this arc, this Age of Hatred arc that we've been kind of building.
53,000 viewers. That's pretty good.
Thank you everyone who's been playing with us this whole time.
The last Diablo announcement were like at 10 to 15K.
I can't wait till I can do that.
Go ahead.
Actually happy with that
Thank
moving
you,
forward.
and I'm just ready to blast with everybody, like straight up.
Yeah, me too. I mean, honestly, it was kind of a bad idea to put Art up here. I'm surprised we didn't say anything, messed up. But yeah, no, I can't wait to party with Art. We're gonna blast the shit out of the game, and it's gonna be super fun.
I'm not entirely sure
with all of you.
But
can't wait to look
definitely
at all the
minions.
guides.
Some minion-related stuff
we've
is
kept
going to
a lot
be
of things
strong
under wraps,
for sure.
So I'm super curious to see, how our build creators and how everybody who engages with the game cooks up some really cool stuff. So
yeah, I think even through like all the times we've met up for these streams too, it's like the energy is palpable that we're just so pumped to get this thing out the door and into the players' hands. Like, couldn't be more excited for it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Even the last boss. Oh,
Mm,
it's gonna be cool.
There's so much to discover for people. I can't wait. There's going to be so much.
Yeah, it's going to be unreal.
Besides,
But
Warlock, anything else top of your list you're looking forward to? Skill trees in general.
Incredibly
Mike,
busy time, but thanks
for
being
every
here,
class.
for the live
I'm
stream.
just excited to make builds and have
I want to give a huge thank
fun.
you to the production crew, to Rich and everyone behind the scenes. It takes a lot of people to make these streams happen. So thank you to all of you.
So good.
Thank you to Team 3 for all your incredible work on this expansion. It's really going to shine through. You guys are an incredible team, and it's an honor to work here and be a part of this. And thank you to everyone at home for tuning in and for playing Diablo 4. We wouldn't be here without you.
How many views do we have on this stream?
And Lord of Hatred launches
for Diablo,
at 4 p.m. PDT. Pre-download goes live today.
The hype has been usually relatively low, and now finally some people are more enjoying it, so that's good to see. Where's my blog post? Did they release the full skill trees for our classes? We'll have to wait for the blog post. What is in there? What is not in there? I mean, that's essentially what we're now going to refresh here. We get the website, right? Blizzard, Diablo 4. Hoping that it finally gives us the updated blog post because everyone is just crashing this, right? We're waiting for news. Please. No, this is the PDR news, the last ones. We didn't get anything new. We didn't get any new patch notes, right? So that's all waiting. Diablo 4 Resurrected. I mean, this is Diablo 4 3.0 now. With Vessel of Hatred, we got 2.0. With Lord of Hatred, we now have 3.0. truly great rework. And they haven't really talked about the torment tiers and how they affect the game, because torment tiers mean that you can make the overworld now torment 12, right? So that's the most interesting part for me personally, that you can really be like, oh yeah, you know what? We're not just playing the Helltide, right? In our lowest difficulty, we're playing Pit 100, Torment 12, Helltide. Pit 100, Torment 12, Infernal Hordes, and so on. So that's going to be really interesting. Right? That's going to be very exciting. And now we're just going to wait for the blog post so we know more details. The new Mystic Sword is just a beast. Yeah, it seems good, but you know, there's so much more than new mythics. I mean, the pit is being overhauled wholesale, so we're actually losing the boss shadows again, which is crazy to me because it was one of the big features they were so iron about, right? We need these boss shadows. We need them to exist. We need them to be there. Boss shadows, chat. And now everything being dumped again. Right? It's like, great. If we go to tier 12, we're going to get some amazing loot. The loot is supposedly vastly higher. Right? So supposedly vastly higher. Every tier is kind of giving you new stuff, new materials, new things, as it should. So, yes, happening. I don't want low levels just mooching off Torment 12 loot just because they're there. That won't be possible, Slap Gang. I assume in order to get to Torment 12, you will have to achieve certain things again, as you currently have. So you probably have to do a certain whatsoever to jump higher in Torment tiers. So low levels won't be able to mooch off you as well. They just got to get there first. Not sure I like the elixir delete. So many builds make good use of those small boosts to defense, attack, and resources. You're not wrong, Uber, but you have the Horadric Cube to now target craft stuff. You have multipliers on your gear that I don't think we need the elixirs anymore. I will say, yes, the elixirs were incredibly useful for a lot of builds that needed resources, where you could just say, hey, I will just juice my resource, and like I can easier spam my ability then, right? So there's definitely a merit to the potions. I personally mostly forget to use the potions, so I'm not too mad about it. I meant more for leveling before you get married to the gear. I never used a potion, mostly before level 60. Can you download the game today? You can download the game today, but you can't play today. So yes, there will be a pre-download happening that you get the version 3.0 already, but you can't play, right? These are not the patch notes, I assume. Oh god, streamer lying about his age. Putting random things in. Yeah, these are the old, that's 6.1. Yeah, these are the old patch notes. That's not what we're looking forward to. Well, now you're getting more XP per enemy, so you won't need those potions anymore because you're going to level so vastly fast. And they say we can choose what skill to use in whatever order we want, right? Well, so the new skill tree is bound to level. Which means you have to reach like level 3 and then you can use these skills. And if you reach level 5, you can use these skills. And if you reach level 7, you can use these skills. And then you reach level 9, you can use them. But you don't have to put like 20 points in total into the skill tree to then unlock the next tier. So the tiers are still bound to a specific level progress, but they're not bound to how many points have you invested in the tree in general, right? It's kind of the same, but it's a bit different. So you're going to be probably earlier able to use skills from each respective thingy. So if I really want to play like the Circle of Summoning, I'll be definitely faster like using the Circle of Summoning. Undeniably. That's for certain what's going to happen. However, you won't be able from level 1 to pretty much put points into your ulti. Right? That's not happening. Still a good change, but not as monumental as for some reason it's made out to be. Right? It's a good something. Look forward to it. Deluxe or Ultimate is any different? 3,000 coins. I didn't actually look at the different editions and what they do differently. I mean, I get sent a key by Blizzard, so I do believe I just have Lord of Hatred. Right? What you got skins, right? And 3,000 platinum, yeah. I mean, if you want 3,000 platinum for 89.99, pop off there. But honestly, I never see a reason to buy anything over the standard edition. I think Vessel of Hatred, I just got the standard edition. And I didn't go for anything else. As there really wasn't the need in any way. Okay, could we have the blog, please? We're waiting for the block. Vessel of Hatred Ultimate get a big discount later. Exactly. So where's the block, ladies and gentlemen? I'm refreshing Twitter. I'm refreshing here the thingy to just get everything we're looking for. We got YouTube. Gotta make sure to do the important thing and just download the whole thing too, right? Could have a maximum of 14 minions. Now you can definitely have more than 14 minions. I mean, there was even something related to the Necromancer, but I don't know where in the tree it was, because when they presented every single class, so they presented every single class here, right? And they also showed the Necro, but they really glossed over it super quick, so we couldn't look at that. So you get the Necro here, and it says Skeleton Mages. Okay, so Skeleton Mages will consume all your remaining essence on cast to raise a more powerful but temporary mage. Skeleton Mage deals 3% increased damage and lasts for 1 second for each point of essence consumed. Skeleton Mages deal increased damage. This bonus every second that the Skeleton Mage is alive, up to 25. Skeleton Mages deal increased damage to crowd control enemies. Those are just the special thingies. And the 4 Skeleton Mages, up to a maximum of 4, deal 1 million damage each already with a hit. That's actually kind of crazy. Then we get the Litany of Death. That was the Skeleton Priest. Sadly, they never hover over the skill to kind of show it, right? Skeleton Mage, maximum of 3. Old Mage's attack. Skeleton is also darkness skill. Singularity, Skeleton Mages will consume. Yeah, that was for the big mage, right? A lot of people are not going to like it. I mean, if you like Diablo, right? I think the changes are just going to be becoming natural for you. Raise Skeletal Warriors from nearby corpses every 2 seconds, up to a maximum of 6. Skeletal Warriors deal with each attack. Active is command, though. The thing is, if I now want to play mages and warriors, I need to have both skills in my skill bar, right? Huh. Or do I have to have the warrior skill in my skill bar? So yeah, for the mage, obviously it needs to be in my skill bar, unquestionable. But the skeletal warrior is a passive, raise warriors. But active, command your skeleton warriors to leap. So I need to put that in my bar. That means 2 skill slots gone. That's harsh. That's harsh. That's kind of sad. Uh-huh. That would be the patch notes, but that's not the block. So I'm missing the block attached to this. So these are the patch notes, 300. Monsters with shield effects, visually pronounced, reprisal, tower has been renamed, bug fixes, gameplay, quests, yeah, that's definitely not the... That's definitely not the real patch notes, right? Because that's not really a lot of information. That's not a lot of information. It did say it was impossible to fit in the patch notes. Yeah, but impossible to fit in the patch notes and not any information in the patch notes are like too definite. Oh, here's Season of Reckoning. I think I found it. Right? So we get like here, Seasonal Realm, Eternal Realm. Okay, so what do we get? This is here. What are we getting? Okay, so Seasonal Reckoning update, skill tree. Level cap increase and Torment tier expansion. Yeah, we get that, obviously. Loot filters, map overlay, skill tree updates. So that was all the information. New this season, new season journey ranks that we have seen before. So we got more, 100 in total. Tower and leaderboard beta updates. Got that. Battle Pass reliquaries. Well, that's completely unnecessary. Get more. I hope that wasn't it. I hope we're getting a better blog post, right? Because this is Season of Reckoning now. I need to learn more. Yeah, I need to learn more here, right? I need that article to work because this would be a little bit slim. You know, that would have been a rather sad one. They're trolling. No, I don't think they're trolling. This is the 301 patch notes, but they missed the 300 patch notes. I think, at least. That's the best way to look at it. So what we're waiting for is this article here. To learn more about the Season of Reckoning. Maybe it's intentional. Nah, we get promised some good stuff. So 4 days, 4 hours, 22 minutes. How many videos can we fit into this, chat? So don't worry, you're going to get a lot of videos, by the way. We're going to have like drafts for... you get the real one? Thank you. Just got updated. Yeah, my 4.4 page still doesn't work, so I got it. Thank you very much. Lord of Hatred, let's go through it. Okay, so... Global launch pre-download, we had that. Know that you'll be able to pre-download. Yeah, Lord of Hatred expansion overview. So we know this. Experience the new dark chapter of the Diablo 4 campaign. New classes, new region, war plans. Select from your favorite endgame activities. Beyond the Echoing Hatred. This is all nothing new. Itemization updates. We get the talisman. We know about this too. To use the talisman, apply a seal to unlock up to 6 charm slots. That will happen, by the way, during the campaign. So you're going to get the seal actually early. It's not a late game mechanic. It is a during the game mechanic. We get the Horadric Cube, but it's not going to show us the recipes. And we have the gem changes. Features for all players. Okay, major skill tree updates. Alongside 83 available skill points. Damn. We have 71 right now. Yeah, 12 more skill points. 83 is amazing. Passives are no longer part of the skill tree, so you can concentrate points into active skills. Dankeschön. Inversely, some key aspects have been moved to the skill tree, granting you more control over choices. Each skill has 3 skill branches. Yes, the first 2 branches apply general modifiers. The third branch is a bonus variant. Yes. You have more control over what you want to play. For most classes, many bonus skills. Druid skill changes. Many druid skills have shifting. Yeah, so this is for druid that we have the shifting choices. It also means druids now wish to maintain specific form can do without requiring special gear. Necromancer skill tree changes. So yeah, my biggest problem is this here. So this says skeletal warrior, right? It has an active, it has a passive, so it needs to be in your skill bar. We're essentially losing a skill with the necromancer, and I think that's terrible. Something to really look at. Race skeleton has been split into 2 skills: mages and warriors, which are summoned with essence, and warriors are passively summoned, right? Skeletal mages, skeletal warriors, and golems are now part of the necromancer skill tree, offering far more customization options. So I hope they're so good that they count as main skills now. Because if I now command my warriors, right? Command your skeletal warriors to leap at an enemy and attack. That's like a core skill. Supposedly like a core skill, but it says a 10-second cooldown. So what the fuck is that? Right? I want a core skill, but I'm getting a 10-second cooldown skill. That's kind of weird. Leads to the obvious question, what happened to the Book of the Dead? The Book of Dead remains largely unchanged except for sacrifice. While you summon minions with a skill, you still use the Book of the Dead to define your minion type and choose upgrades if you're keeping the minion active. However, sacrifice has changed and it can even be used with active minions. Sacrifice still gives bonuses such as extra critical strike, resistance, or essence regeneration. The difference is that sacrifice doesn't eliminate the ability to summon minions, as long as you have a skill points invested and have them in your skill bar. When sacrificed, skeletal skills create fewer minions and golems do less damage. If using your minions primarily for buffing, support skills, or tanking, this may be a great choice depending on the trade-off. Huh, interesting. That's definitely a nice skill there. So we are able to actually, yeah, that's good. Harness loot filters. Loot filters is really not interesting to me at all, even the slightest, right? I think a lot of people are going to do big mistakes with that. So level cap increase, torment levels from 4 to 12, yes, and it's good. Item rarity updates, yes. With the Rider Cube, items that are common magic rare can be used as crafting bases. You can add affixes to them and upgrade their rarity as you progress through the endgame. Common magic and rare items continue to drop in torment difficulties. They have a chance to be ancestral and can have greater affixes too. Damage multipliers are in gear, and now unique tempered affixes and more. Uniques will have fewer affixes which are inherently fixed, meaning you have a greater variance, okay? Any existing unique that have been removed from the game will be replaced with a different functional unique. For many of these existing uniques, we've tightened the scale of their unique powers so their aspects are more consistently powerful. Unique and mythic items can now be tempered. Tempered affixes have also gone through an overhaul. Visit your closest trusted blacksmith. Additionally, over 200 legendary aspects have been overhauled to be more impactful. Inventory changes. Items in the inventory can now be stacked to a max of 1,000. We had that. Overlay in Pathfinder. Yep, that's just for people like me. Battle Hatred on Seasonal and Eternal Realm. We know that. Differences. Play Lord of Hatred campaign. Yeah. Expansion. Start Vessel of Hatred. We're going to sail to Scovis and prepare. So you can start with Lord of Hatred, which we're going to do, but we're probably going to skip cinematics on day 1. This is the link. I'm going to post it to all the platforms. Sorry, chat. Story complete endgame. Any reference? The Season of Reckoning sweeps across Sanctuary. Okay, launching Lord of Hatred on April at 4:30. The Season of Reckoning is nearly up in you. Okay, so we get that too. Instead of major system upgrades such as sweeping skill tree updates and increasing well, we know the Season of Reckoning represents a departure from our past seasons. Future seasons will return to our regular cadence. Okay, so Season of Reckoning is actually nothing, right? The only thing that Season of Reckoning brings is up to 100 activities, so more rewards. Season of Reckoning will have 100 activities, so up to 12 skill points, 42 paragon points, 14 Resplendent Spark. That's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. 14 Resplendent Sparks. Fuck yeah. There's actually a mount trophy. There's a pet coming, emblems, titles, everything. Okay, So it's fun. I like that. With season rank, you have the ability to unlock seasonal blessings, smoldering ashes. Smoldering ashes can be earned, and that's going to be boost the chance for receiving second item, purveyor, boost chance of rare materials from a salvage, boost chance for opticite. Thank you. Grants a chance to earn extra upgrade, improving glyphs. Awesome. And boost the chance for ancestral caches. So these earns are amazing, which is fire. So I love that. Unlock Resonate, free Reckoning, Tower Leaderboards beta update. Yeah, we had tower updates. They weren't interesting. Build Viewer, Hatred's Downfall, the Community Challenge, Korn, Jackson, Lord of Hatred launched Twitch drops. We can get the Essence of a Lord emblem. If you watch 2 hours, you get this one. That looks really sick. You get the Mount Trophy. This is for supporting a streamer for 1 sub chat. Then you get a Mount Trophy. You have an axe, and this is also watching 2 hours. We get the Overwatch. We get the Prepare. The 3.1 patch notes, which are terrible unless they got fixed. And that's it. Yep. Cool. $14 sparks, but the drop rate for mythics will be... No, I don't think the drop rate for mythics has changed. It's just literally that you get the 14 sparks now to kind of... How do I say this now? It's just, since there is no seasonal theme, no seasonal shamambo bambo, and there's so much to figure out, they'll rather give you like some fun bonus grind to interact with, right? and just discover the world, like some free dopamine, than anything else. No seasonal activity. No seasonal activity test, but we're going to be busy enough going to Torment 12, doing the PID, doing all the new activities, going through the war plans, learning about the war plans, and then seeing how seasons will be from that point on. So I don't think that no seasonal activity will play a role too much. Your first character will become level 70 over the campaign, more or less, right? Your second character will then become level 70 with whatever we have done usually. And then we get the end game with the new skill trees and everything to play around with. And the new skill trees in the end game will kind of feel like in their own seasonal mechanic. So yeah, that's that, right? It's like, it's at the same time, it's more than I was hoping for. On the other hand, it's also less than I was looking forward to. Nonetheless, quite excited. Bit miffed how they're doing the warriors and the mages on the necro. But we'll have to see how it plays out end of the day, right? Skirmisher warriors. Skirmishers slice up enemies, dealing high damage. Skeletal warrior is also bone skill. If you have chosen the skirmishers, the maximum is 9. Huh. Interesting. Is Torment locked still till you finish campaign? Torment tiers are bound to pit progression. So Torment tiers are not kept behind campaign progress, they're kept behind pit progression. So you have to go through the pit again to then unlock the respective Torment tiers. However, I would finish the campaign because finishing the campaign will probably unlock seals, will probably unlock things in the Horadric Cube, will probably unlock the war plans properly and that kind of stuff. So you're most certainly going to want to finish the campaign first, right? That's most likely undeniable true. If the cap is 9, you can use the others to sacrifice them, right, Mr. Mafi? If the cap is 9. I mean, the interesting part is if the cap is 9, you could then still sacrifice these warriors in your Book of the Dead, as it's written here in the skill tree changes. Get the bonus from sacrificing them, and then just simply get a few less warriors, but still have warriors. Again, though, you have to have the warriors in your skill bar to use them. Then again, sometimes Necromancer just has shadow skills in their skill bar to do more damage. So I guess that's nice, right? This is very nifty, just to be able to just throw more minions around and not just have them as a complete useless they're gonzo. Season starts on 27th, but expansion on 28th. No. Everything starts on the 27th in America and 28th in Germany. Here, you have April 27th, 4 p.m. PDT. Now, 4 p.m. PDT is my 1 a.m. I figured that out before, and yeah. So, America, yes, early. Germany, on the 28th. I mean, for 50% of the world, or for all the right side of the world, right, from Europe onwards to Asia, it is 28th. But for America, it's 27th. Well, I'm a bit sad that we didn't get big patch notes, but that at least makes my life a bit easier wrapping stuff up together. They didn't do any pit changes in here, right? They set leaderboard changes, but they never set any pit changes. We have the pit overhaul, but it's not really listed in here. It's weird because yeah, they only mentioned this on stream. They give the stream. So like they mentioned the pit overhaul here. Thank you. Right? But there's nothing pit overhaul related. I mean, we have Lord of Hatred, features, loot filters, harness the loot filter, Eternal Realm, Season of Reckoning, Hatred's Downfall, Twitch drops. Yeah. I mean, there's literally the tower rework, right? We have new region, war plans. You have the Aggregate of Hatred, randomization. We talked about that. Heroic Cube. There was the tower upgrade. It was like weirdly in here, right? So you had the Druid, the Necromancer. Where's the tower? Yeah, tower and leaderboard update, right? But nothing about the pit. You want to see the skill trees before starting the new season? You won't get those. Correct. I think they will want to keep it as native as possible. I mean, you can see quite some skill trees online already, in case you haven't noticed. Like in the beginning of the stream, like the full Warlock skill tree is, for example, out. That one won't change anymore. So we got the, where is it? Sorry, all old videos. We get the whole Warlock skill tree that's on D4 builds, for example. There's parts of the Necro skill tree available, Druid skill tree, so there's quite some. Was it the bosses spawning on you immediately? So the tower rework was, the pit rework was following. You had 5 floors, no more dead ends, allegedly. Death and resurrection penalties removed, so it doesn't matter if you die. Boss shadow attacks gone, these red shadow attacks that are on you. And then bosses spawn on top of you instead of boss arena. Ergo, you just slay your way through the floors. You shouldn't be gate capped in weird ways. And then you do actually meet the bosses instantly. Which is a good change. I mean, this is nice. This is the way it should be. I guess. Right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we got a video to make on these changes. There was no PDR for this season, right? Yes, there was no PDR. There was only the access for press, right? And I gotta say that press didn't do an as good job as I thought they would do. They definitely didn't check all the things I would have personally checked if I was press. So I should have somehow, I guess I need to join a website team to get press access next time. Right? Levels equals to floors. Yeah, the floors are just like you go in, right? Instead of the current 2 floors or 2 levels you go through, it's 5 levels. So that you always have enough monsters. The idea is that you're blasting through, level down, blasting through, level down, and you're not getting like bogged down that you run out of monsters. I think they're rather going to do too much than too few. Right? Good chat. What we're going to do is we're going to wrap all of this together, the changes and all this kind of stuff. Like we're going to make a short, sweet video with the key points, the most interesting things, right? For you, like the ones that are interested. And then tomorrow, we're going to make a big video on the Necromancer already, where we're going to wrap up everything that we could find. So all the skills, all the uniques, all that kind of stuff. Where we talk about like what we can truly do now with our Necro. Because I've seen half of the Necro tree, and we can already theory craft some things in our mind. So this is going to be cool, and I hope you're looking forward to that. I'm done for tonight. Done for now. So thank you for coming, watching, lurking, chatting. Hopefully enjoying. Hope to see you all tomorrow again. Not sure if we're going to have a live stream, but we will have a couple of videos coming your way. There's a Windrose video, and there's Diablo videos. So have an eye out for this. Until then, I wish you a great one. Take care. Good night. See you soon.